I did. It was very needed. Trust me. Like I
Uh,
was about to mute and everything. He's like, "Nah, you got to do it on camera right now." Like, all right,
That's a good cold
bet.
opening.
camera,
That was a good
camera
cold
on the
opening. Oh, it's still out of context. Great, I like that.
bowl. Camera on the toilet bowl. Taking
Uh,
a fat Duke
oh
on
hell yeah,
camera.
dude. I mean, I wish I did that because it was only me and him, but it was pretty funny, dude. I finished flush the toilet and everything. I was like, see, and then
Oh
I left
man.
the call before anyone else joined.
And then when he goes to say, "Yeah, Xavier just joined the call and took a shit," you can say, "I don't know what the fuck he's talking about." I don't know. I never did anything like that. He's crazy.
Anyway, that was a good
But
cold
yeah, no,
opening.
I got Dr. Sasquatch or Dr. Squatch soaps. Those are my
Oh,
new
the one that
soaps.
on the weird advert with the guy whose face is very punchable.
Yeah. Yes.
Uh,
Yes. I got the Star Wars set, and then I got like some birchwood type shit. It's pretty good. Are we actually recording this now?
yes.
Oh, you fuck.
I mean, I said it was a good. I don't know what more you want from me, honestly. I don't hit
believe we're
record, and
actually
you said that should have been
now.
recorded, and I do hit record, and that shouldn't have been recorded. I mean, honestly, you can't have your cake and eat it too, all right?
Getting
Didn't
mixed
think you were
signals
gonna
here.
actually record it.
God.
I know. Tell me about it. Mixed signals.
So this campaign's actually going up on the YouTube.
Yeah.
Motherfucker. No, what if Ian sees it?
I don't care.
All right then.
I hope you cry, Ian. I hope you listen to this and you instantly collapse into a catatonic state of
Catatonic
just
stupor.
unyielding weeping.
Roll like
constant-
a 12 on the permanent.
the permanent insanity table.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
did you look
I
at
read
that?
through it. I read through it. Yes, I did. And I hate
It's gonna
you.
be so good. It's gonna be so
I
good.
thoroughly hate you.
I want one
Hopefully
of you
I
to
can-
roll psychopath, psychopathy, as your permanent insanity. That'd be so
Ugh.
much fun. I would love that.
Ugh.
That'd be great.
No, thank you.
I would hate that.
Anyway,
And let me guess, you're not playing this one. You're not a DMPC.
well, there is an NPC that will follow you around, but he isn't a DMPC.
Oh, sick. All right.
But yeah, so in that case,
Let's
let
get
us-
this
let us
cookie
begin.
turning.
so let me get my script up. The year is 2035, and of course, for the past 5 years, the world has been in a steep downward spiral. It's been 5 years since the United States collapsed into a brutal civil war, divided between the the People's Republic, the Pacific States of America, and the Federal States of America. Also 5 years since the Sentinels Verminosa supervirus was released on Cancun, Mexico, and spread across the Western Hemisphere. Now, you three random scientists, engineers, and soldiers, respectively, you don't have to worry about the Civil War, nor do you have to worry about the virus, because you are about as far away from either of those two things as you can get. Because you, along with about 24 other individuals under the purview of the United Nations, have been sent to Antarctica in the South Pole to establish a research base dedicated to figuring out and studying the impacts of climate change and the greenhouse gas effect, stuff like that, on the ice caps of South America, South Pole, in addition to the effect of said phenomenon on the animals. Bacteria, the penguins, the polar bears, all that sort of deal. And it has been 2 weeks since you since you first arrived in Antarctica by icebreaker ship that was set off from the southernmost tip of Chile down to Antarctica. And in those past 2 weeks, you guys set up Research Station Unified Hope, which is relatively small. I think like the bigger research bases tend to be like 60 people, 50 people. So you're about half the size of about like the biggest bases on the continent. Your base is led by a geologist and also a captain in the United Nations Armed Forces. He's British. Dr. Harris Knight. He's the one who's been directing everyone, setting everything up, leading the group, stuff like that. So yeah, I think we'll start off by zooming in on each of you as you go about your routine daily activities. So I think we'll start first with mechanical engineer Heinrich Hoffman, played of course by Xavier here. You, I'll say, are in the medical bay at the moment, not because you are injured or ill, but because the station's doctor, another German woman, has called you in to work on the Osler medical android, basically a medical robot that you guys were gifted by your corporate sponsors that paid for most of the station. And this robot has been acting up more or less on the daily for the past 2 weeks. I have artwork for it. Its kind of tentacle arms are very finicky, and they need constant lubrication and maintenance to function properly. And if they aren't lubricated fully, and they try to perform a surgery, they will just straight up cut you open like a fish by accident. So you are very frequently in this area of the base, managing this stupid robot. So, you know, there is that. It is pretty annoying. So there it is. I put it in game planning by accident, but that's fine. It'll stay there. So yes, you were working on this big robot, probably like 7 feet tall-ish. So it is quite big. It's in its little charging port built into the wall of this really rather large medical facility with some tables and some lab equipment, some medical beds, stuff like that. So what do you do?
Alright, I'll proceed as I normally do. Walk up to the fellow German and be like, "Ho, ja," or something like that. I don't know.
Great, you walk up and say, "Oh yes, perfect."
Mm-hmm.
Standard German greeting, I'm sure.
Oh, you know it, dude. Well, in any case, I'll walk up, I'll say hi, I'll be like, "So, bot is on the fritz again?"
She's like, "Yes, he is." And she kind of like pats him on the chest, I guess if you could call it that. And she's like, "Yes, he's his joints are locking up again. When he tried to bandage one of the other researcher's arms, he accidentally pulled too tight and nearly cut off circulation to the poor fellow's arm. So."
I can see how that'd be a problem, but I'll take a look.
All right, so make me an intelligence check with a +1 because you are an engineer by trade.
Alright, boys, it's time to see. Is this gonna be a good session or an average session? I don't think I can have a good session, to be honest.
Wow, so pessimistic.
Well, I have my answer.
So an average session then, you got like a 1 or a 2, I'm assuming?
It was a 1.
Great. Great. So you walk over to this robot, and you look it over, and you know where the trouble spot is. So I'm not gonna that the roll doesn't affect whether or not you can tell that much is obvious. But you go and you stick, some wrenches, some screwdrivers in the kind of like locked up joint to try and free it. And you end up getting an electric shock that doesn't damage you, but you get zzz, and you drop your screwdriver and you bring your hand out and stuff. The cute doctor lady behind you is totally unimpressed. That's the consequence of your critical failure.
Damn, I didn't get to Going down with the cute doctor? Tragic.
Yeah, bro, gotta keep warm on those frigid Antarctic evenings. But yeah, I mean, you know what the problem is? It'll just take you a while because you've now also short-circuited some internals with your overly enthusiastic screwdriver jiggling. So as you kind of frustratedly get to work, continuing to maintain this garbage robot, I think we will cut over to the recreational dome in this sizable research station. Seated in the dining hall at a metal folding table on a metal folding chair with a metal insulated coffee mug is Dr. Führer, a fine Swiss man who has no role or day job on the base due to him being an archaeologist in the Antarctic. So, yeah, you just kind of lounge around and help people if they ask you to help, but most of the time it's spent reading.
Yes, very glad I'm putting my doctorates to use. Yeah, I'll just sit at the table, sip my coffee, and read whatnot. See people in passing, give a hello. Other than that, I really have no business being here. I
Yeah,
guess
most
what
people
I'll
that
be
like
doing.
walk by, and you kind of like say hello to them. Most of them do reciprocate your hello, although you can tell that it's kind of like they don't really like that you're here because you're kind of like seems like a freeloader, you know. But most people hide it. The Germans don't hide it. The Germans just straight up like glare daggers at you across the room most of the time because they're Germans. They don't know. they're
I'm Swiss.
a different
What do
kind
you
of
want
people.
from me? I'm the friendliest person on the planet.
Yeah.
Just a.
But yeah, so most people here kind of give you
What a
the
waste of time.
the cold shoulder because you don't have a job to do. So they're all everybody's kind of busy walking around, working on stuff,
I
reading
will.
computers, and you're just kind of chilling.
What I'll be doing while I'm sitting in this mess hall is I'll be looking at the formation of crop circles in America. I'll be reading up on that
Okay.
and like the paranormal ley lines and stuff
Okay.
like that are carved into mountains and what have you.
Yes. Yeah. So you're reading, scrolling through on like a tablet, on the internet, looking at crop circles and stuff. There has been a jump in the crop circle reports and UFO sightings and stuff over the past
I
5 years.
I
Probably
guess what I
because of
could
the
also
Civil
be
War
doing.
going on.
I
So,
guess what I could also be doing is looking at seismic activity. I know it's not much, but
okay, yeah, you can pull
I
up
could look at
the
Arctic seismic
reports.
activity. It's
Yeah,
something that an archaeologist could do.
yeah, I suppose. I mean, you don't
So
totally know what it
I
is,
guess
but
after I finish my cup, I'll go to one of the various labs and start looking at seismic activity and what have you. Samples
okay.
taken from glaciers. I don't know what I could be doing.
Yes, there are core samples and stuff that the researchers
Yeah.
do take, but you don't know how to read them. Besides, yes, old ice,
These are
and this is young
samples.
ice. Yeah, this frozen water. But
Yes. The ice here is made of ice.
yeah, I mean, but you can look at stuff and be like, hey, that looks weird.
Sediments.
Yeah,
That's
you
what
know
I
like
could be
sediments and
looking
stuff.
at. Yeah.
Yeah, you have a better idea about geology than you do about ice.
Yes.
So yeah, so you're kind of
Yes.
mucking around doing that. So then we will cut over to a random hallway somewhere else in the base. And in this hallway, there is a tall, physically fit, I guess, mid-30s woman with a Glock on her hip and a ballistic vest on, and like one of those like flat cap military UN hats on, military fatigues. Good old Sergeant Winches. What are you doing around the base on this frigid Antarctic morning?
What time of day is it?
Probably like 9 in the morning, 10 in the morning.
I'm probably going to get my coffee then. Just chilling, looking around, seeing
Do
if anyone's doing something they shouldn't.
do
Which,
do we ever cross paths?
if I cross paths with you, I'm just gonna do the normal hi and then leave.
I'll raise my cup of coffee. Ooh.
I mean,
Okay.
I'm not the grumpy type of. Where's my cup?
I'm a very friendly person.
If you say hi to me, I'll say hi back. But I am on
Hello.
my way. I'll be like, hi, and then continue on. You know, it's like the school where like you pass someone that's in your class, we don't actually talk to them too much type of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd probably do one of that because it's like I'm awake, but around this time, let's say I usually get my coffee, so I'm on my way to doing that. You know.
Okay. Yeah. So being on the station and stuff, your kind of military routine of waking up at sunrise and going to bed at sundown has gotten a bit lax, mostly because it is perpetually bright as day out for now. So there is that much. So yes, you're allowed to kind of not slack off, but kind of match the routines of everybody else, because obviously if everybody's asleep, then there's no reason for a guard to be on duty watching over people who are not awake. So there is that much. So you walk into the dining room and stuff, and there's people getting breakfast, getting their coffee, and you join them at one of the several coffee machines and stuff built into the wall. And you get yourself a mug, and you pour your coffee, and you go and sit down and stuff. And it's very normal hubbub day, you know. I guess it's probably gotten a bit calmer over the past few days once the base actually got finished being set up properly and stuff. So there isn't as much physical labor to be done around the shop. But now it's more about experimentation and core samples and seismic activity readings and stuff like that.
Hmm.
So so as the sergeant and the doctor are sipping their coffee, and engineer Hoffman is continuing to work busily on the android. Um, there is this kind of slight shake in the ground that you guys all kind of don't feel it at first. But when you guys put your coffee mugs down on the table, you see the coffee jiggling in the mug. And when you put your screwdriver down on a metal tray, it kind of wiggles on the tray and kind of clacks against the metal. And you're like, that's weird. We put this base in a seismically stable area to avoid this sort of thing from happening. But it'll probably pass in a second, no big deal. And you all kind of go about your work, not really giving it much mind. And it goes away after 20 seconds or so of light earthquake. And then 5 minutes later, as you all continue doing your routines, finishing up your coffee and such, another earthquake hits the base. This time, significantly stronger. And mugs fall off of tables, cutlery falls to the floor, chairs and tables fall over. People stumble and trip as they're walking down the hallways, things like that. Paintings fall off the wall. Expensive light equipment smashes against the ground as it is knocked off of tables.
Is there anybody near me at the moment?
There are probably a few people left in the dining hall, and they're all kind of hunkering down underneath the tables and stuff like that as the lights swing wildly over your heads. Flickering.
I'll look over and I'll gesture to them like, "What? Do you know what's going on?"
Yeah, they're all kind of like, at first they're all kind of like yell and surprise and stuff, but they're all kind of agree that no, they don't know what's going on. This is weird. And not to bully Mr. Hoffman, but Mr. Hoffman, I need you to make me an agility check to avoid being crushed by the collapsing body of this charging android, please.
Oh,
I have a bad feeling about this.
maybe today's not going to be a terrible day. That's a natty.
Oh, two
Yeah,
different crits across the spectrum. Great. So you feel the second wave of something activity hit the base, and immediately you're like, all right, I'm not going to tempt fate. You just straight up walk across the room from the medical droid, because you're like, I'm not going to risk that. You get up and you walk away, and sure enough, as soon as you get just out of its reach, it poof, face plants into the metal tiling of the medical facility, and you narrowly avoid being squished by a 500 plus pound metal contraption.
That's kind of frightening.
Yeah, kind of hair-raising experience there for a second. But the earthquake does continue. It is actively difficult to stand or walk around or move and stuff like that. It is pretty intense. The lights are flickering. Electricity's cutting in and out.
A moment.
So yeah, it's kind of wacky, kind of wild. So yeah, eventually, probably after a couple of minutes, the earthquake dies down. Pretty much instantaneously. There isn't much of a, gradual softening of the shaking. It's just 1 minute it is intense, and the next it is totally calm again. So, yeah, you all kind of wait out the earthquake, and then it stops, and you all everybody kind of waits another couple of seconds to kind of make sure that it stopped and it isn't just in between, vibrations or whatever. But after a minute of waiting, it appears to be relatively calm. Lights come back on, stuff like that. How do you all react?
Sheer panic.
Yeah, I'm back.
Sheer
What are we
panic.
panicking about?
Well, the earthquake has stopped, and lights have come back on and stuff like that. How do you all kind of react to the earthquake going away?
I will thusly grab my cup and go over to the seismic labs, I guess. I don't know if there would be one.
Yes, there is there's like a geology wing of the base. In there's like a control room for all of the different seismic sensors and stuff that are dotted around the several mile radius around the base you guys set up in previous days to scan for activity.
Yeah, then I'll probably end up going there then. Yeah.
Okay. So you go there. The rest of you?
Probably before going there, I'd check, like, to see where everyone is. Check the rooms, make sure everyone's okay.
Okay. Yeah, you quickly run around the base, make sure nobody is injured. There are a few people who have some kind of bumps and bruises, fell over or banged their head or twisted their ankle or something because of the sudden impact of the earthquake. But nobody is severely injured. Nobody is dead. Everyone is accounted for. Nothing has severely broken in terms of like the structure of the base or anything. It all seems to be in working order.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay.
After that, I'd probably go to the seismic center, right? Yeah.
Okay. If you want to do that, you can.
Mm-hmm.
Then, Mr. Hoffman, what do you do? How do you react to this jarring earthquake?
Thing I'm first gonna check to make sure there's not any more heavy machinery that could potentially instigate me.
Yeah, there doesn't appear to be.
Then I guess I'll just head out with everyone else.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you, for dramatic effect, you all arrive at the geology wing of the base, more or less simultaneously, and you all enter through the sliding automatic, insulated door, and enter into the kind of control room for the seismic sensors. And you all see Dr. Knight, of course, the station's commander and leader. He's standing near the back of the room, near the door where you guys are, kind of with his hands on his hips, yelling orders at people and stuff to get the readings back online, get the computers working again. People are running around. All of the big wall of computers across the room are all lit up like a Christmas tree, displaying various pieces of information, the seismic activity around the station. And one of the screens is showing no information at all. And every second or two, that screen flashes like no signal in bright, bold red letters. And you all walk in. You all see this kind of scene of recovering chaos, I suppose. And Dr. Knight kind of turns around and he's like, well, good morning. I suppose that's one way to begin the day. Yes. Everyone all right? Is any severe injuries?
I seem to be okay. Everyone has recoverable injuries, if any.
He's like, excellent, excellent. And it kind of turns back to the geology department, and he continues to yell orders at them and stuff. After a few more minutes, things kind of generally sort of calm down, and Knight kind of turns to one of the geologists, and he's like, "You there? What's with that one sensor? It has no signal. What happened?" And the geologist is like, "Oh, yeah, I'll check it out right now." And he goes over and he types away on one of the computers and stuff in this kind of mission control area. And after 10 seconds or so, he turns back over his shoulder towards Dr. Knight, and he's like, "Sir, it appears that sensor is no longer providing any data at all. It's non-functioning, whatever happened. But from what I can tell, that seemed to be the epicenter of the earthquake. That sensor picked up the strongest readings before it ceased functioning." And Knight kind of strokes his chin a little bit and kind of ponders to himself. And he turns around to all of you gathered in this room behind him. And like, "Well, I suppose you're already here, so that's convenient. Well, it would seem that one of our seismic sensors has been knocked offline by that strange earthquake. So I feel like we need to assemble a repair team to head out there and, see if we can salvage it, because it's an expensive piece of machinery. But if we can't, then we should bring a replacement sensor to put in its place if we can't find it, or if it's been destroyed beyond all repair. So, Mr. Hoffman, yes, I assume, are you up for that trip, yes?"
Well, I suppose.
And like, excellent. And of course, Sergeant, you will be accompanying us, of course, yes?
Of course.
Like, fantastic. And he sees Dr. Fuhrer there, and he's like, Doctor, why are you here?
Mm, mm, mm. That's a good reason.
I see. Catatonic. Perfect. How I like my archaeologists. And then he kind of, turns to the other two of you. And like, "Well, I suppose, since, Mr. Hoffman, you're ready to go.
I'll explain to him that I was just here to check on the seismic readings to see what this was all about."
Yeah, well, the earthquake. And it seems we found the epicenter of it, but the sensor that was nearest to it appears to be non-functioning. So I'm assembling a few fellows to accompany me in investigating ourselves and sending out a replacement sensor if the old one is destroyed.
Would I be able to go? It's better than sitting around and doing nothing.
And Knight kind of stares off into the corner of the room for a second, thinking, and he's like, "Well, I suppose you couldn't do any more harm out there than you are in here, so sure. Come along if you are able and ready to go.
I'll jokingly say to him, well, hey, it's not like we're gonna find any, well, towers or ruins out there, right?
I'm like, well, that would be the idea, I suppose, but, you know, an extra pair of hands is better than none, so. And, you know, those sensors are quite hefty, in my opinion, so. The more help, the more hands, you know, the more help we can get, all the better. And he kind of claps his hand. He's like, all right, gentlemen and lady, get your parkas on and your gloves and your snow boots and your snow pants, and meet me in the garage bay, and we'll head off post haste. Yes, and he marches out of the room.
All right. I'll grab my standard gear, my robe, my backpack, heavy coat. You know.
Alrighty. I assume the rest of you do so as well. And you all meet him at the garage to the station. And there, in one of the garage bays, there is the large, tracked, kind of all-terrain Arctic exploration vehicles you guys are familiar
Before I forget, I am going to bring my archaeologist kit.
with. Okay.
Just in case.
Yeah.
I
So
make fun of you for it.
Always got it on me kind of thing. Don't feel safe without it.
Okay, I guess I have less of a reason to make fun of you for it.
you still should, though.
You could, but it's in my backpack, so you'd never know.
This is true.
You fool. You've fallen into the basic plunder.
But yeah, so you know, I'll head over to the garage. There's the all-terrain exploration vehicle, and then strapped to the back of it, there is a kind of what looks to be sort of like a kind of vaguely cone-shaped, kind of stubby metal capsule that you all recognize as being the seismic sensor devices that you've spread across the several mile radius around the Arctic. And yeah, so you know, he kind of finishes clamping up the to the back of the vehicle, the kind of like small bed that it has on the back. And he turns to you all and he's like, perfect timing. Are you all ready to go?
Yeah.
And you're like, all right, lovely. Well, in that case, hop on board. There should be enough room for everyone.
As I get in and kind of take my seat, I'll take out like a little journal and write down like the time and like what happened.
Okay, easily done.
Like 9:40 small seismic event, 9:45 large seismic event, damage to sensors.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, you can do that. And if the rest of you have no other business to attend to before you want to head off, Dr. Knight will head into the driver's seat of the vehicle and begin the trip to the damaged sensor.
I don't think I have anything going on. I just need my toolkit. That should be all.
All right, and you can bring your toolkit. It's just you know, one of those like briefcase toolkits. You know, like kind of big metal briefcases, easily portable for that very reason.
I'll probably make sure transport, has ropes and whatnot and all the safety gear and climbing gear we need just in case.
Okay. Yeah.
I will also have my own personal bundle of rope.
Yeah. You could pack you know, a couple hundred feet of cordage rope and stuff like that, and like, you know, the banana clips and stuff. That
I will also bring my
use.
walking stick.
Okay, you can do so. Yeah, you all you know, gear yourselves up, and then Dr. Knight, upon your signal, heads out. And the trip is probably a 3.5 hour drive. The track vehicle does not go very fast, and the snow is quite thick, and the sensor is pretty far out. So 3 hours later, at around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, you all arrive at the location where the sensor was supposed to be. And Knight parks the car, or parks the vehicle, puts it in park, and he kind of pulls out his GPS, and it says that the sensor device was put around this area, but you all look around the, blindingly bright white landscape of the perpetual daylight Antarctic, and you don't see it anywhere.
Huh. Odd.
Dr. Knight's like, yes, that's very strange. Well, let's get out, gentlemen. Let's get out and have a look around, see if we can't find a trace of it at the very least. But be careful. There could be like a chasm or something hidden underneath the snow.
All right, yeah. I'll offload and have a gander.
All right, everyone can make me a perception check, including Dr. Knight, who I will roll for myself.
All right. That is a 9.
Alrighty. Knight rolled a 1, so no. he is he's not finding nothing.
That's an 8.
Alrighty. Senor Hoffman.
Well, 10.
Oh my lord, 2 10s in a row.
Oh.
On a roll today, you should have gotten these rolls last time. You wouldn't have been horribly maimed last time. But okay, yeah, so, Mr. Hoffman, you plop down out of the all-terrain vehicle, and you take one look off to the side of the thing, and you spot where, like, this snow drift kind of ends, and that kind of, like, lack visibility over the other side of it. So you kind of take a few steps forward, and sure enough, there is... actually, I can tell you how wide the crevasse would have to be. Hold on. It would probably be like 30 feet wide, which is incredibly large for an Antarctic chasm. We had this huge gouge, huge ravine in the glacier and the ice sheet. And you're still probably a good 60 feet away from it, but you can still like see the edge of it and kind of where it starts. And the rest of you all kind of get out and look around, and after a few seconds of trudging through the snow, you all figure out where it is as well. Dr. Knight, he opens the door to the vehicle, and then he tries to step out of the vehicle, but he trips and face into the snow instead.
I'm just gonna say no one saw that.
Yeah,
I suffer
yeah.
no penalties, right? Just to make sure.
No.
All right. I can see it though.
Yeah. You'll pass. Yeah, you all successfully figure out where the ravine is.
What the
Xavier
culprit
figured
is.
out, immediately. Yeah.
Can we see at the bottom of this chasm?
You're all still probably like 60, 70 feet away from it right now. You can see it from here, but you aren't like you can see the first yard or two of the other side of the ice wall, from where you're together standing, but you can't see down more than a few feet because you're at a weird angle. You're far away.
I'll probably call over Knights and be like, I think it's over here.
So he stands up and brushes himself off. All the snow kind of ruffles his hair, puts his hood back up and stuff, wipes the snow and water off his face. And he's like, "Oh, yes, great job, everyone. Let's investigate that. Then that wasn't there when we put the sensor there last week. So let's see what we have here." And he begins
All right.
trudging through the snow.
I will follow suit.
Alrighty, so you all.
I will also turn to the others in the group and be like, beats sitting at a desk all day.
I mean, yeah, it is like stupidly
If
cold.
only I had a desk job.
Well, you have a desk, you just don't have to use it.
I just hope no one does anything stupid while we're away. You know.
Agreed.
And come back, find a crater in the ground. A big psyop.
There is no lab anymore.
There never was a lab. You see, it's all been an illusion. It's all a simulation.
Yeah.
There was no Arctic to begin with.
It's all a big hologram. Yes. But yes, you guys walk up closer to the ravine, and yeah, sure enough, it is like a solid 30 feet wide, which is very large. For reference, most ravines and stuff in the Arctic and in the North Pole as well are usually barely wide enough to fit a person through to fall down. This is significantly larger than anything you guys have seen in your 2 weeks of time spent here.
Multiple persons.
Yeah, you
Interesting.
could fit minimum 6 people in that gap.
How convenient.
Yeah.
Do we see the bottom?
Do you get that close to the edge?
I will, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you all kind of step up to the edge, and the walls of the ravine are very shiny, reflective, sky blue tinted ice, and it goes down a very long way into darkness. You cannot see the bottom.
All right, I'll take the initiative and drop in a glow stick.
All right. So you walk over to the vehicle. You fetch a glow stick from one of the toolboxes that are there, and you crack it, and you drop it down. And the light plays very beautifully off of the walls of the cave and the ice and stuff, reflecting and off of the kind of internal cracks and vertices and stuff in the ice sheet. And it goes down for probably like 150 feet before you guys can barely see this little blip of light kind of bunk. It kind of bounces a little bit. And you see where it lands, barely in the glow stick's light. You can see what look like some little bits of metal fragments scattered across the ground, and the ground itself appears to be ice.
Huh.
And Knight sees that, and he's like, that must be, well, what's left of the sensor, I suppose, at least part of it. Unfortunate. That was an expensive piece of equipment, but, better a machine than one of us, I suppose, so who wants to go down and look at it some more?
All right, why not? I brought rope.
What's my climbing?
A climbing stat is agility.
I'll take a chance with the 4, why not?
The 2 of us are going down?
Well, Knight's also going to go down. He's volunteering himself.
Oh, okay.
It's going down.
Okay.
Yeah. Mr. Hoffman, do you want to take the plunge?
I don't think
I
I
mean,
need.
I am the engineer. I should probably take a look at it.
Okay, in that case, because it would be smart for one person to remain up
split.
top, so
Yeah.
because there is a winch on the front of the vehicle, so if you guys get stuck halfway or all the way down or whatever, somebody can winch you guys up one at a time or 2 at a time. So who wants to stay up top?
I'll stay up if 3 people are going down then, and I'm pretty sure our lovely archaeologist doesn't want a boring standstill job.
A fair point. A fair point. This is the first piece of excitement I've seen since coming to the Arctic, so yes. Any chance I get to do something that isn't sitting around, I'm going to take it.
Yeah, so I'll stay up here.
Okay.
All right.
So you the sergeant kind of leans against sits in the vehicle and stuff, browses YouTube I assume, listen to Spotify, and the vehicle's built-in Wi-Fi system. Well, I guess the
do we
Centaur does
have
Wi-Fi
do we have
too,
like
so.
radios?
Yeah, that's the next answer. Man.
I will say, I'll
Like
say that
walkie-talkies?
yes, yeah, there are walkie-talkies you guys would have.
Okay.
Knight has one, and the sergeant has one. So yeah, so
Alright.
that works out fine. Dr. Knight, he grabs some pythons from the vehicle, and he smacks them hammers them into the ice and stuff. He pulls on them real hard, make sure that they're good. He wraps himself up in the rope, and then he will take the first steps down the side of the cliff. And I'll say that you all will receive a +1 because you guys brought like proper equipment and stuff ahead of time.
Alright.
Mike got an 8 in total, so he's definitely fine.
Alright. That is an 8.
Alright, so you're also fine.
Oh, what? I'm gonna crash and burn in a moment. Just you wait.
Are you gonna
Get
10?
another 10.
Oh my lord, 3 10s in a row.
Man. Oh man.
Well, yeah, it's gonna be.
Something's gonna happen.
We're gonna get into combat, and you're just gonna
That fall
instantly
from
die.
Grace.
Oh yeah.
That
Yeah.
fall from grace is going to be so far.
Yeah, Icarus over here finds it close to the sun. Okay, so surprisingly, Mr. Hoffman, you just take a running jump, like this rope tied around your waist, and you just dive off the side of this ravine, no problem, zip lining down almost, just sprinting down the side of this ice wall.
Speed roping.
Yeah, just running sideways down this wall faster than even Dr. Knight can do it, and he's an experienced climber.
Practices.
Yeah, I guess apparently, but Knight and Dr. Fura, you also, the two of you, more or less the same pace. You guys with your spiked boots, your cleats on, you kind of walk your way backwards down the side of the cliff. And yeah, you all reach the bottom, about 150 feet down, next to the glow stick and stuff. And in the darkness, you guys, you're human, so your eyes adjust over time. After about a minute or so of being down here, your eyes adjust so you can see a bit farther, but max of 5 feet in front of your face. It's really dark down here. But it's still enough with the glow stick, and I assume you guys brought other glow sticks or flashlights or something like that.
Yeah, I will have brought a torch.
Yeah, so and sure enough, you guys kind of look around where the glow stick fell, and those kind of initial bits of metal fragments and stuff you guys saw from up above, and probably 10 feet away from the glow stick, to the north, along the ravine. In the center, probably 5 feet away from the wall, there is half of one of those cone-shaped, 2 foot by 3 foot metal seismic sensors, smashed mostly to pieces. Only half of it is anywhere near being intact.
Oh. Well,
It
there's
is
your
all,
problem.
10 stories, so.
Looks like I won't be making any repairs.
Yeah, Dr. Knight kind of walks over and he's like, "Yes, I figure you're correct. I don't think this would be worth the salvage job even if we could try it. Well, that's what we want the backup one anyway." And he's like, "But I think we should probably still bring this back to base, if not so we can, take it apart and salvage it if we want to, or send it back for, that sweet warranty." And he's like, "So, help me out. We'll hook this up to the rope, and we'll get the winch put down, and we'll haul it up."
All right.
And
I think after a few minutes, I'll bleep on the talk and be like, bloop. It's all good down there.
yeah, Dr.
Yeah,
Knight,
so far.
he pulls out his radio, and he clicks it, and he's like, "Yes, we're all fine, but can you do us a favor and Get that winch moving down the ravine. The poor sensor made a rather unfortunate end at the bottom of this ravine, and yeah, there's no salvaging it.
Hmm. Mm, mm. Okay. And after he says that, I'll be like, should be seeing the rope soon then, as I get out and go set it up.
Alrighty. So yeah, easily enough, you all kind of fiddle with the rope. You all kind of like lift the sensor up and stuff, and begin threading the rope under it and around it and everything, making sure it's properly secured. But this thing is totaled, and you can understand why because the earthquake was very powerful, just by being like 100+ miles away from where the base was. You guys still felt it that strong, so it meant serious business, and not shocking that this thing was destroyed in the process. But I need you all to make me perception checks, please. Well, the three of you that are the two of you that are down in the ravine anyway. And I'll have Dr. Knight do the same thing.
That is a 7.
You got a 2, so no, he's not. He's
Ah,
not hearing
twinsies.
anything. Okay. So
I'm the only one that sees this?
well, I don't know. Did you get the 7 or did you get the 2?
2.
Oh.
Okay. Well, this kind of makes some more sense. This is topical. Dr. Fuhrer, you're the one who has to kind of lift the sensor up to kind of put the rope under it so that they can kind of, make like a kind of like carrier cordage.
Like carry it.
Yeah, to kind of lift it up. And as you kind of lift it up, something catches your eye, probably like only a couple of inches underneath the ice.
Okay.
And it is unmistakably stone. Which should not be here because you're only like a third of the way down from what should be the bottom of the ice sheets in Antarctica.
I'll call attention to the others and be like, hey, guys.
Knight's like, yes.
Look at this, and I'll like with one like arm try to hold the thing up, and with the other like try to like inch out my flashlight so I can get a good look at it.
Okay, so you hold the sensor. It was probably like 50 pounds. That's something like 30 pounds because of the destruction. So you could do that with one hand.
And then I'll like pop my flashlight in my mouth and like,
Yeah, so you turn it on, and yeah, sure enough, there are other two of you. Well, Mr. Hoffman and the DNPC, Dr. Knight. You all see, like 2 or 3 inches underneath the ice, there is stone. And now you have a flashlight like aimed directly on it. You can see that it isn't just this one section of stone. It is like the whole way. Like it's you can tell that it expands beyond the range of your flashlight's light. That it goes out wider than you thought it did when you first saw it. And also, with the light shining on it, you can see that there are also like what look like the scoring lines of like tile work and stuff every few feet in the stone underneath the ice.
I'll turn it off and like put it back in, and I'll look over to Dr. Knight, and I'll be like, well, maybe there was some reason for me coming here.
The doctor's like, well, yes, apparently that's extraordinary, and he takes out like an ice pick basically, and just like starts hacking through the ice to get to the stone.
Can I put this thing down now?
I'm like, oh yes, you can, yes, fine. You can put that down.
Well, if it's perfectly winched or like secured, I'll start winching.
So, that's all. Yeah, you don't have to roll for that. You guys can. Yes. So you, the sergeant begins pulling it up, and once she kind of pulls it up, and that kind of removes an obstruction in the floor. You guys can see that the whole floor, probably for like 30 feet along the ravine and then across the whole ravine. This is this kind of perfect square of stonework under the ice.
Oh. Can I tell what kind of stone it is?
Make me an intelligence check, but no +1 because you aren't a geologist.
All right. That's a 7, good sir.
Some kind of igneous rock, which means it's made by lava. So like obsidian or
Okay.
basalt, stuff like that.
Is it like black? Is it?
It's like dark gray.
Hmm. I'd say that kind of rules out basalt then. Maybe obsidian. I'll share this finding with the others. As well as take this finding down in my journal.
Okay, you do so. And he kind of finishes digging out this little section of the ice, and he kind of starts touching the stone, and like, yeah, this is real, all right. This is very interesting. And he kind of keeps like looking around and stuff, and he kind of like wipes some of his own chunks off and feels some more of the rock. Well, this should most definitely not be here. This is incredibly
I will
strange.
do the same. I will feel the stone.
Yeah, it isn't perfectly smooth, and you figure that's from the ice sheets moving around erodes the stonework.
Okay.
But it's almost perfectly smooth. It's smooth, but there are still noticeable like divots and like angles
It's
in it from where the
imperfect.
ice moved. Yeah, it's imperfect, but it's still pretty flat. And it's
Okay.
flat enough so that the individual tiles are so clearly visible.
Huh. How interesting.
And Knight's like he goes on the radio that he has, and he calls over to the sergeant. And he's like, Sergeant, we appear to have found a rather miraculous discovery here.
Oh,
Like, yes,
what's
we've
that?
apparently struck some kind of masonry at the bottom of the ravine.
W- Huh?
Like, yeah, that was my response as well. But undisputably, there's it's like 30 feet squared of stone tiles here. Some kind of dark gray rock under a couple of inches of ice.
It's not the light or anything. It's
No,
No, it's actual stone.
I'm touching it right now. It's real.
what? What do you want to do about this then?
Like, well, I think we should immediately. Well, you keep hauling up the sensor, and when it gets up there, put it back onto the back of the vehicle, and then set up the second one. We're going to sit down here and look around some more. I refuse to believe that this sort of thing is just here by itself. Who builds a random platform in the middle of nowhere? You know, must be some other piece of evidence around this area somewhere.
A fair question.
Well, then, I suppose after like those few couple of moments, I would have the broken one up already, and then begin on the second one.
All right, yeah. So you pull it up and you start working on it. The rest of you down in the ravine. What do?
Well, I'll start helping out to chisel.
Okay. Mr. Hoffman.
I admittedly don't have much to do. I mean, I guess I could just, you know, look around nondescriptly.
Okay, give me a perception check.
That's gonna be a 5.
A 5, you say? That is sadly not enough. Barely. You've got like a flashlight and stuff. Well, no, that would have just evened it out. So no, yeah, you look around, you don't immediately see anything, for now anyway. but that Dr. Fuhrer and Dr. Knight, you guys keep hacking away at the ice. And yeah, sure enough, there is underneath the ice, there is this 30-foot by 30-foot squared slab of carved stone just here.
Huh. Just a stone slab.
I mean, it is carved to be like tiles, basically, which is also
Well,
strange.
if there's one, there's bound to be more.
And Dr. Knight's like, yes, I agree entirely. Let's have a look around, do some searching, see if you can't spot anything else through the ice.
All right, yeah, I'll take that second look.
All right.
See if
so
I can't find anything.
I will have Dr. Knight look around as well. And Hoffman, you can try again if you want to, investigate properly this time.
Ooh, first 10.
Oh, and Mike got a
How
9.
I only did worse.
Well, you got like a 4,
No, much
3,
worse.
2.
A 1.
1.
How did I know?
So you slip and fall on the ice. Your butt is a bit sore now. But with a 10, yeah, Dr. Fuhrer, you look around, and as you're kind of feeling around the walls of the cavern, of the ravine, it's kind of like being in like a hall of mirrors. Like the light kind of bounces around weirdly, and you can't really tell how far the wall is away until you actually touch it, because it's so clear and it's dark.
Yeah.
And you kind of run your hand along the ice, and after you probably get like halfway across the stone platform before your hand drops. It falls through, and you kind of shine your flashlight, and you realize there is no wall there. It is a like roughly cut, kind of like jagged tunnel that's kind of like separated itself from the ice. Probably like 4
upon
or 5 feet
finding
across.
this, I'll whistle over to the others. Like, hey, got something.
And Dr. Knight walks over, and he's like, well, some kind of split part of the ice. And he kind of peers inside and looks around, doesn't see anything immediately. And he's like, well, do we think this is a good enough lead? Should we investigate?
Well, I'm gonna tell him I don't think this is a split. I think this is a tunnel.
He looks around, and he's kind of like, I mean, it looks naturally occurring enough. I mean, it is made of
Could be.
ice, but awfully convenient to be in this location, I will admit that much.
Agreed.
Well, and he radios in to the sergeant, and he's like, we appear to have found some kind of tunnel, some kind of roughly cut cave of some kind made of ice in the wall of the ravine near that stone section. So there's that. It's pretty cool. We're going to investigate it, I think. So, you keep doing you up there, I guess. We'll be back soon.
Okay.
Keep the car warm for us.
Noted.
And he kind of put the radio back on his hip, and like, all right, gentlemen, in we go. And he begins kind of carefully walking, kind of squeezing through this only like 4 foot wide, kind of like jagged cave. It looks like, yeah, like the ice got pulled apart, basically. The ice wall got pulled apart. So there's like jagged kind of like puzzle pieces that like could fit together if you were to smush them together again, but
Yeah.
they're not quite. And it is probably like 6 feet, 7 feet tall, but it gets very tiny into the top, so it's effectively, pretty like much shorter than that. And he begins to kind of shimmy his way through this ice tunnel.
I will follow suit. With my walking stick handy, make sure I can stab at the ice and not fall.
Alrighty, Mr. Hoffman, do you follow as well?
Sure.
All right. Um, let me just look at my map. I'm the map. I'm the map. Here we go. So you guys go down this kind of ice tunnel, and I mean, you all know common sense dictates that if you pull like something apart, like ice or whatever, earthquake pulls it apart, it's probably not gonna like that like split isn't gonna curve super like harshly.
Yeah.
But this tunnel does after probably like 20 feet or so.
Odd. A little odd for a natural occurrence, yeah.
Hmm.
A little odd for a natural occurrence.
Yes, you would be correct. And you guys kind of keep shimmying, and just kind of it kind of curves to the well, the right, technically, down to the south. Um, and after probably you would imagine like 40, 50 feet into this tunnel, Knight kind of suddenly stops shimmying. He's like, "Oh my god!" And he's like, "This is, well, disturbing."
Doctor?
And he kind of reaches in and he kind of, kind of like shimmies his way and he kind of pulls out his flashlight and he kind of shines it into the stone wall, or the ice wall rather, of this kind of tightly packed cave. And you see probably like a foot into the ice at about chest level, so like 4 feet above the ground. There is suspended in the ice what looks to be a some kind of like dagger with like a bone handle and like some kind of shiny black blade. It's kind of suspended there in the ice, like a foot or so in.
Hmm.
You're like, that is weird. You're all seeing that too, I hope.
That is not supposed to be there.
You're like, yes, well, yes, I would agree. And he kind of keeps going another 5 or 10 feet. And then he's like, oh my. And he kind of stops moving again. And like, I think I found the lad who used to own that dagger, friends. And he shines his flashlight into the wall of the cave, the ice cave. And about a foot into the ice, suspended in ice again, is a pair of two humans. Roughly, they look a little bit more Neanderthalish, Homo erectus, less Homo sapien, or more Homo sapien, less Homo sapien sapien. So like a little bit, ancient, but they are perfectly preserved, suspended in this ice. They are clad in golden jewelry, leathers, like thick leathers, furs. They each have a big feathered headdress with a big, like a black stone, like circle, kind of on the top of this like metal circle that they have with the feathers behind it and stuff. Yeah, and they're just suspended there, stood in the like at attention basically, frozen in the ice. And I'll say for dramatic irony, Mr. Hoffman, as you're shimmying after them, you kind of see these two bodies suspended in the ice, and you look around and you see that behind you guys on the wall that you guys like your backs are against, across from the first two bodies are another two bodies of two other dudes in similar attire, also frozen about a foot into the ice wall, stood at attention and stuff.
I'm gonna jump a little bit and go, huh, more of them.
And I'll take a look over.
Yeah, there are 2 more
See what he
bodies
jumped at.
behind you guys.
Oh.
Knight's like, this is getting a bit creepy.
Doctor, do we have any proper excavation materials at the base?
Like, yes, at the base we do, yes. We have, shovels, ice picks, we have, pythons and chisels and hammers. But there's a bit more to this tunnel, I think, and he kind of shines his flashlight further down the tunnel and like, let's keep going a bit, I think. And he goes for another like 10 to 15 feet ish before the ice cave kind of opens up a little bit, and the Knight kind of like you see him kind of walk shimmy out from between the 2 very closely packed walls and into a kind of a bit more open area. And he turns his flashlight ahead of himself, and his flashlight hits a stone wall, a carved stone wall, with a big 5 foot by like 7 foot stone doorway, like obviously like kind of jutting out of it with a solid stone like block blocking the doorway, and the whole wall is covered in hieroglyphs and runes, different shapes and little mini drawings, lines, very intricately chiseled and carved into this stonework.
Huh. Ruins in the ice. Who would have thought?
And Knight's like, this is extraordinary to find. This shouldn't be here at all. What in the world? And he, he goes over and he starts feeling up the runes and stuff and looking at all of them and kind of, he like pushes on like the big flat block that's blocking the kind of what looks to be a doorway, and it doesn't budge. Kind of feels around.
I completely forgot to ask, but going back to the people just absolutely frozen solid in ice, would I be able to tell an era of what they're from? I know it's probably not my specialty, but like based on the clothing.
Based on the clothing, you would figure they are. Well, maybe an intelligence check with a +1.
Like just an era, like like
well,
pre-humanitarian.
In
like
terms
whatever.
of their looks, they do not look like modern man. They look incredibly ancient.
Of course.
Not quite like Neanderthal, but they look a little bit different.
Severely old.
Yeah.
That is a 7.
The clothes they're wearing look vaguely familiar, like some of the elements to it, like the headdresses in particular, and the ton of gold jewelry, remind you of like very ancient, like Olmec, like Aztec, Incan sort of fashions.
Okay.
With the ton of like jewels embedded in the gold beads, bracelets, necklaces, chest pieces, the big headdresses and stuff. You haven't seen any of this before, and they're definitely far older than the Olmec or the Inca or the Aztec or the Maya, but they look vaguely familiar. Like that's the closest you could think of, basically.
Okay, so it's that by association.
Yeah. It just that's the first thing that like some kind of
comes to mind.
Like Western Hemisphere Native American kind of ancient aesthetic. Yeah.
I'll pass that along to the others. A little snippet of some kind of meaning behind this.
Okay.
And I will also document this at my next ability.
All right. So yes, you all kind of pile into the kind of small open chamber. It's only like 15, 20 feet wide by like 10 feet deep. before the way is blocked by this big stone wall with the big stone door on it.
Said it's a big stone door?
Well, yeah, it looks to be some kind of doorway covered in runes and hieroglyphs. That's probably like 5-6 feet wide, but like 7 feet tall.
Okay.
And then, like in the doorway, is this big, flat, uncarved stone block that's just there.
I'll inspect.
Okay, give me a perception check.
Ooh, that's a 9.
All right, so you walk up, and you kind of like look around it and stuff like that. And from what you can tell, it looks like, I mean, seeing this as this looks to be a doorway, you can imagine that it would be built like this. But the stone in the stone door, for lack of a better word, appears to be fused with the stone doorway around it. But you doubt that somebody would build a building without a door, or like how did they get it here? And like it doesn't
Or
make any
get
sense.
into it.
Yeah, it just doesn't like something not lining up with why this block is fused with the walls.
I'm gonna take, I guess, my ice pick and try and like cut out a little bit of the side, like the fused lining,
You kind of
like just shave a little bit out.
yeah, so you shave a little bit of it off, and it comes off. It's definitely some kind of hard rock, very very old, very dense, very condensed, very compressed. But what you can tell, this is just like a solid doorway, like a solid wall that, like this. You get the feeling that the stone that is blocking the doorway is as thick as the wall. That the whole thing
Okay.
has fused with itself somehow.
Odd. Well, it could probably be from, I mean, the ice, rock expanding and whatnot. It seems somewhat, I don't know, unlikely? I don't know. None of this makes sense right now. But I'll try to like chisel it out a little bit and see if I can get this open, or at
Okay.
least create an opening so I can, shine the flashlight in and see inside a little bit.
Okay. Yeah. You just start chiseling away at it. That'll take you some time. Mr. Hoffman, do you wish to do anything in the meantime?
I think I just continue to observe.
Okay. So after several minutes of chipping away at this, you get the feeling that the wall here is far thicker than you originally thought. Your whole
There's-
chisel goes into this wall and does not hit the other side. So that's like a
Huh.
solid 7 inches, 6 inches of metal into this stone.
Well, all right then. Looks like we have reached somewhat of a dead end, unless we can find some kind of mechanism to open it. Any suggestions?
Knight looks over and is like, "Well, we do have some some plastic explosives back at the base, I do believe."
Alright, so we're all up for a return to base and then a return to the chasm.
Like, well, I think at the very least we need to report back what we found and set up the new sensor and all of that stuff. So, of course.
Agreed. And I also do think it couldn't hurt to bring a camera next time.
You're like, oh yes, of course.
So, well, then, sounds like a plan.
So then you all make your way back out of the kind of little chasm, and you all make your way back into the main chasm. So who will be climbing themselves, and who wants the sergeant to winch them back up?
Um, I think I can manage. I think I can manage the climb.
Okay. Knight will also make the climb. You get a +1 for using proper equipment.
All right. That is an 8.
Doctor got a 9 in total. Mr. Hoffman, are you going to take the winch up, or are you going to climb yourself?
I'm going to make use of the wonders of technology and not exert myself.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so you have the sergeant drop the winch back down again, and you hook yourself onto the big old metal hook there, and you just kind of go limp, and just kind of slowly drags the other side of this cliff.
The song plays like.
Yeah, exactly. You just kind of slowly float up the side of the wall. After a good 5 minutes or so, 10 minutes, you guys are back up top with the sergeant, who is kind of sitting there, I assume, bored.
Nah,
Understandably
I
so.
was on my phone playing
Candy Crush.
angry polar bears, you know.
Angry
bears.
Angry polar bears.
Launching them polar bears at ice.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, so Dr. Knight's like, yes, well, thank you for your diligent service, Sergeant. We've found some kind of structure down there, in addition to the stone floor. And we found an ice tunnel, and we found a knife suspended in the ice. Then we found 4 corpses, also suspended in the ice, of some kind of ancient humanoid. And then we found there's a wall of stone with like a bunch of carvings and runes and hieroglyphics in it. And we found a door, but we couldn't get through it with our lack of
conventional
tools.
methods.
Yes, we feel it'll be best if we go back to the base, and then we have you blow the door open.
Exactly. Which is why we pay you. Just kidding.
Yeah,
I don't know why they pay you. I don't get paid for that.
Okay. I'll just like shake it off and be
Don't
like,
worry about it.
I'm not even gonna question how we came to this. I am questioning though if I want cereal though. So when we get back to the base, I'm gonna definitely have some cereal.
It's like 2 in the
Fair enough.
afternoon. All right, cool. Okay, so yeah, so you all get back on board. Having finished setting up the replacement sensor, you all make the 4-hour trip back to the base. You will get back. It's 6 o'clock at night, dinner time. And the doctor's like, well, folks, probably a bit too late to head out now, but let's say we rest up, and then tomorrow morning, bright and early, we'll sit back out again.
Like not in character, but probably out of character. Tell the rest of the crew like what's going on and whatnot. Be like, oh, we discovered something,
Yeah. I mean, Knight will go around bragging that he discovered this stone structure at the bottom of the ravine and stuff. People are like, oh.
Wait a minute.
He's a captain, bro.
Yeah, he takes credit for your discovery. He doesn't care.
Wow. Alright, well, I'm not here for the fam anyway. When I get back to my quarters, away from the rest of the cast, I'm going to make a secret encoded email to an informant in the UN describing the findings.
Okay, so you do so. And you get a response that says something to the effect of, after you decode it and stuff, it's like, thank you for your information. Continue to investigate and report back what you find.
Alright. I'll close my laptop and erase the email chain.
Okay, of course.
I'm gonna go look for
And
cereal.
then I'll go claim my dinner.
All right, and you all get dinner and stuff. There is a chef aboard the station who does cook proper meals and stuff like that.
Right.
Usually it's some kind of fish dish because it's the best fresh food you can get in the Antarctic. There is hydroponics and stuff set up here. So you guys do get like, you know,
Other than
fish
polar
steaks
bear?
and stuff. Well, yeah, like seals, I
Other
guess.
than polar
But,
bear?
yeah, but most of the time it's fish or like krill. You can't eat krill, but shrimp, stuff like that. Sea life plus the
I'm going to.
hydroponics foods.
I'm gonna ask the. I'm gonna ask for, like a Parmesan halibut.
Sure, easily enough. Yeah, sure.
Nice. A little taste of home.
So yeah, unless you guys want to discuss anything else, we can skip over.
I'll
to the next
probably
thing.
sit with like the team and see what everybody thinks.
Okay, well, Dr. Knight, he doesn't eat with you guys. He has his private quarters where he eats his meals and stuff. So you guys, just the three of you, are by yourselves at a table in the dining hall.
I don't know. I got really nothing to discuss. I just gotta think about bringing explosives.
Tomorrow, on the next day, I will be bringing a camera. I will be bringing, again, a flashlight. I guess I'll bring some, like, actual archaeological gear.
Probably before we go there, I'll just say to the
Oh, you know what I forgot to do?
mm,
Take stone samples.
You got
Alright,
the
whatever.
you got the one from when you like chipped away at the door. You have that.
Oh, okay. Alright. So after I eat, I'll probably bring that over to the geological
I'll probably
area
ask if I
and
should
ask
bring
for
anything more.
an analysis on that. Since we found life forms in the ice, would I be able to requisition a weapon?
I mean, they weren't alive, so no.
Okay, that's fair. Alright, sounds good.
In the geology department, even in the sample, they'll be like, "Yeah, we'll take a look at it tomorrow."
Alright, sounds good. Thank you.
All right. The rest of you have anything you want to discuss and or do?
I'll probably ask the head Snites and be like, anything else I need to bring besides explosive? Maybe extra explosives, other things.
Well, measure twice and explode once, but you could bring some extra, I suppose, but not a lot. We don't know how much you're going to need, and we don't know if there's, don't want to blow the whole building up and destroy all of that valuable information that could be hidden in that building. So,
Very true. I just realized before I pour my milk, I gotta take out the garbage. Yeah, that's probably it then. I'll probably bring like, I don't know, have him describe what he needs blowing up, think about it, and bring twice as much probably.
okay, you're bringing enough to level the entire building. Great.
Ah, great, nice. I didn't realize we need that many explosives. Huh.
Well, you're bringing double the amount, so that would be enough to level the building.
This is true. Okay.
But that's probably the amount we'd need.
So yeah, anyone else have anything else they wish to do or say or anything of the sort?
That should be it.
Alrighty. Well, in that case, speak up now or forever hold your peace. You guys have your dinner.
Currently holding.
You're currently holding your peace. All right. Um, you guys, have your dinners. You write your emails. You inquire about explosives. You talk to the geology department. You fix some more androids. Do whatever. You maintain some more vehicles. And by probably around 9 o'clock at night, it is still, I should know, bright as day outside. Like it never becomes dark. Not for another week anyway, because of the 6 months of light, 6 months of darkness thing that happens in the Arctic and the polar caps. So it is always light, except for in the base. The base has automated light timers and stuff.
Dimmers?
Yeah, that make it so that like you can actually fall asleep and stuff without having to take a nap in the equivalent of perpetual noon, which would suck. So you like the windows and stuff all have automated like shutters to block out the light, so you don't have to, nap in the bright light. And you all go to sleep. However, your sleep is not pleasant. You all have nightmares of you feel a lot of anxiety. You feel fear. You feel like tension. You guys get flashes of that entrance to the temple, the entrance to that big stone wall with the big stone door. Flashes of the people in the ice, and they kind of like move around. Their eyes flicker around as the flashes keep happening. You get this kind of feeling of suspense and of a build up. Then you guys get this flash of the big stone door opening, and then another flash of the Arctic landscape, but the sun is setting and this like wall of darkness is kind of covering the landscape, and then the kind of anxiety you guys feel about this nightmare kind of builds and builds and builds, and then as soon as the darkness it covers your entire vision, you all wake up simultaneously, but you don't know that. You all kind of jolt awake from your nightmares, covered in sweat, panting, freaking out. It's like 1 a.m.
Sick.
You all have that nightmare, the exact same nightmare, but you don't know that you all have it, but you all do. Yes, you all get pretty poor sleep because of the nightmare, and you all wake up at around 8 o'clock in the morning.
Sick.
So,
All right, yeah.
do you have anything you guys want to do or discuss before you head out to the site again?
I mean, I'll get ready and whatnot. But then I'll like when I see the rest of the team, I'll ask them if they slept just as horribly as I did.
I'd be like, yeah, had a great time last night. Couldn't tell you why, but
Oh.
didn't sleep well.
Anyone else?
I slept like a baby. Whew. Let me tell you.
Lucky
Have,
you.
having, war flashbacks. Whew, pretty weird ones, but whew. Oh yeah.
All right,
Normal occurrence.
I'll share the sentiment.
Mm-hmm.
Be like, yeah, I had a pretty strange dream myself. Does the doctor have the main doctor have that same nightmare?
Well, when you guys see him, he seems totally fine.
I'll inquire about it. Be like, hey, did you sleep alright last night?
Like, oh no, I slept perfectly fine. When did you did that chasm give you nightmares, fellow?
It seems to be a running theme amongst the group, so I'd say yeah.
He's like, well, don't let it get to you. I'm sure it's nothing. It's It's an abandoned structure buried underneath 200 feet of ice. You know, it's perfectly fine, I'm sure. And he just kind of walks away, kind of not believing what he's saying, basically.
Fair enough.
And he goes
All
off to
right, well.
prepare for the expedition.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So you all get you the gear you guys wanted to bring, the explosives, your walking stick, your tools, more climbing rope and such. And you all make the 4-hour drive back over to the site. That makes it, I'll say, again, about 1 o'clock in the afternoon by the time you guys get there. Because you have to go, like, eat
On
breakfast and
the
stuff.
trip there, I'll like double check my film, make sure I got my journal and everything,
Yeah, it's all good.
my archaeological gear and whatnot.
I mean, that stuff isn't meant for ice and snow, but it'll work.
Yeah.
No reason to suspect why I wouldn't. So yeah, you guys keep on trucking. You make it back to the chasm, and you guys, reset up your pipes and stuff. Who is going to be going down, and who's going to be staying up, if anyone?
I'll go down. Yeah.
Alrighty, the two of you.
I have to go down.
That is true. Yeah.
That is true. So, Mr. Hoffman, are you going to go down, or are you going to be like, I better stay up here?
We won't blame
stay
you
up
if you
no one
do.
else can.
So you stay up there then. Who is going to be climbing, and who's going to be taking the winch?
I think this time around I'll take the winch.
Alrighty then. Sergeant, do you take the winch?
No.
Then Sergeant and the Doctor, Dr. Knight, you can make me agility with +1 to clamber down. Knight got a 6 in total, so he's fine.
Yeah, 8 + 1.
Okay, yeah, so you're also fine. And then Dr. Fuhr takes the winch down. You won't make it back down to the bottom. And for the sergeant's benefit, yeah, sure enough, there is the stone underneath the floor, and you guys climb through, kind of like shimmy back through that tunnel, and there is the bodies and the dagger suspended in the ice. And you guys make it back to the entrance of the building with the big flat rock, square-shaped rock in the doorway.
All right. Well, I think it would be reasonable for us to take cover.
Yeah, you do that. I'm gonna crack my fingers and I'm gonna be like, well, is it too late now to say I don't know how to work explosives? Yeah, I
Well,
can't.
Knight's
Can't
like, it is indeed, and then he just grabs like one of the bricks of C4 and just straps it to the side of the big flat stone block, and he's like, I don't care if you don't know how to use it, you know how to read. You just put the block on the thing, hit the button, all right? Jesus.
seeing the others like treat this so poorly, I'm gonna like kind of like wince as I see him put the block of C4 just on the.
Yeah, I go to him. I'll be like, kid, I got this.
I've got a bad feeling about this. All that knowledge wasted.
Knight's like, well, we're being cautious. We're not going to blow the whole wall up or anything. We're trying to preserve as much of the Horrocks as we possibly can, of course, to preserve the history and the money for the museums. And then he's like, all right, come, Doctor, let's go back through the tunnel and for the big boom.
All right. Yeah, I'll go.
All right, and I'll say that, the sergeant, you're not under any time pressure. You're not going to worry about messing up. No roll, because you aren't under any time constraints to do this quick. So it takes a couple minutes, but you do set up the kind of line of bridging explosives along the edges of the stone block. And then you shimmy back through the tunnel, and you hit the clacker, and it goes kaboom. And as soon as it goes kaboom, you hear the explosion and the rocks and stuff fly, out and stuff and away. You also all feel this kind of gust of like oddly warm wind, kind of flow out of the tunnel. You guys are kind of back in the main chasm.
I kind of like shiver that, be like, oh, that was uncomfortable.
It's very
that
moist
was
air.
Uncomfortably warm.
Yeah, it's pretty moist.
Is it like one of those kind of warms where it like takes you by like shock? That it's that
Seeing
warm
as it's like
after...
several negative degrees like Celsius here, yes.
I don't know if wind should be that warm out here.
Well, no, but I'm pretty sure it's, warm inside.
Well, of course, yeah, it probably is, but doesn't mean it's a good sign. But, oh well, on we must press.
I know nothing about that, but that was uncomfortable. That was like walking in a sauna, but like, uncomfortable one.
But like an uncomfortable
Agreed.
one.
Agreed.
Okay, yeah, so you all kind of shimmy your way back through. The ice is like it was like some of it tried to start melting because of the wind and the explosion, but it's already resolidified. So don't gotta worry about that because it's just that cold here. But sure enough, you come around and the door has been blown away. You now see that the door was like 3 feet thick, that big stone block. So Chisel would never have gotten through that. So good thing you bought explosives.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Now I can provide the map of the interior. If I can find it. So yeah, you guys, it is pitch black beyond the doorway. You can see more stone flooring and stuff in there. So
sick. Flashlight time.
Alrighty. You turn on your flashlight. You look inside, and this appears to be...
And nothing.
So it's straight up, like, dead parallel. Well, firstly, this room appears to be about 20 feet deep. And putting a flashlight dead across the room from the blown-up entryway is another similar-looking stone doorway with a similar-looking block of stone in the doorway. And then you can't see either wall yet because of the way you're looking and stuff, but there's another way across the way. You can't see.
Alright, well.
Where is my map?
Well, into the thick of it.
Here we go. Here's the map.
Alright, let's have a gander. We're at 1?
Yes. Yeah, you're at 1, yeah.
Okay. Into 2.
Alrighty. So you
I'll
all...
probably be in shock, if anything, and be like, "Hi, this is a first for me."
Knight's like, I think this is a first for everyone. This isn't really something that's happened before.
I'm gonna turn to the others and be like, 1 moment. And before I forget, I'm going to take a picture of the dagger and both sets of people in the ice.
Okay, you can do so.
Alright, and then I'll go rejoin the others.
Alright, so you all walk into 2 then?
Yeah.
Alright.
Flashlight and camera at the ready.
So you all walk into room numero dos. This is a relatively large stone chamber with several murals along the walls, floors, and ceilings, along with a bunch of carvings, hieroglyphs, runes, also along the walls, floors, and ceilings. Most of which of the carvings and murals seem to depict the sun kind of spreading its light over the world, or some kind of similar like sun and moon dichotomy artwork, stuff like that. Um, in the kind of central part of the room are these kind of two like large thick stone pillars, almost like square pillars, and they have shelves on them, also made of stone. And on the shelves are small glass jars with like bits of cork kind of stuffed in the tops of them. They're all empty.
Hmm.
And this room is eerily quiet. Also, still kind of pretty warm. Not uncomfortably warm, but like above freezing, which is weird. Considering it's the Antarctic and stuff. Pitch black, no lights, no sounds besides the occasional kind of dripping of water you can hear in the distance.
Anyone, any ideas?
About?
What we could be looking at? What else?
Uh, ancient worshippers of some religion, some cult belief thing, made something before this place got super cold, I guess. Kind of
I
impossible in
guess
my mind, but
I
mm,
I thought so too. I'll start taking pictures of the surroundings.
Okay, you can do so.
we're only in
Um,
two.
Next thing I think I'm gonna do is go and look at those jars. You said there's nothing in the jars?
Yeah, they're empty. They have corks to kind of plug their tops of them, but they are otherwise empty.
Hmm. Odd. I don't know if I want to uncork it, but I'll definitely take a snap. Now you said um there was murals, right?
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna look into those.
Okay, yeah, they all seem to kind of depict what you would imagine probably like the sun and like the moon, like the planet Earth. Some of them depict um, like some kind of humanoid figure holding the sun, and a different figure holding the moon, and then the Earth in the middle with a bunch of like people in the middle, kind of like worshiping both entities holding up the cosmic bodies, sort of deal. The art style is again kind of similar to Olmec artwork, but is still very obviously older than
Older than that.
than the Olmec. Yes, like millions of
Okay.
years old.
Hmm. Well, this predates anything I have knowledge of. Is there any like writing?
There are runes and hieroglyphs, yes, but none that you can understand.
Unfortunate, unfortunate. Is there any like gleam to any kind of Latin?
No.
Nothing? Alright. Well, worth a shot. Uh, I'll take a picture of some of the hieroglyphs. Maybe someone I know in the archaeological field will know something. Um, I mean, other than that, I guess I'll take a sample of the stone inside and press forward. What are those two rather large rectangle and triangle shaped holes? It looks like.
That's where those are like the pillars where the glass jars are
Okay.
stacked up on.
Okay. All right. Guess I'll go to the door on the other side.
All right, and you walk over to the big stone doorway. It's smaller than the main door you guys came through, but same deal. Hieroglyph rune covered squared like archway for the door frame, and then a stone slab in the middle. This stone slab does not appear to be fused with the door frame.
Uh, All right. Well, guess I'll try the obvious. Try and push it.
Okay, so you put your hand on it, and sure enough, it feels like it reacts to your touch almost. Like you don't have to put much pressure on it to move it, even though this is obviously like a
Heavy
1,000-pound block of stone. Yeah, so you kind of lightly press it, and it slides back a couple of inches, and then off to the side automatically. So it slides to the side, and reveals this long, dark hallway in front of you.
I'll look back to the others.
Knight is staring like wide-eyed, like,
Well, all right. Picture and continue forward. Picture of the room in front of me.
I turn around to see this and I'm like, what? Sorry, I was too busy paying attention to a moon and a sun.
A door.
What about the door?
It moved.
Like, you pressed a button, moved, or?
Like I just touched the door. It moved.
Huh. Did you step on something?
To my knowledge, no. I just touched the door.
Huh.
Huh, indeed.
Okay.
Yeah. It's
I don't know whether to be
sounds-
surprised or worried for what type of ancient work these humans did.
You and me both, to be perfectly honest. Because if they can accomplish this, who knows what's gonna be inside this cave?
Yeah, who knows? I don't.
Me neither.
Okay,
But-
let's continue.
let's keep going.
Okay, yeah, there is that hallway with two doors immediately after like 5 feet in from the door that you guys are standing at, and then there is the T-junction at the very end of the hallway, like 25 feet down.
Alright. Go into the hallway, and I guess I'll look left first.
Okay, you look left first. There is another stone slab door.
Oh joy. Guess it's gonna be the same kind of deal. I'll touch it.
Okay, so as you walk up and do that, back up top, Mr. Hoffman, you are.
Dakota, I also see what you mean. It does look
Well,
like
it's a the map is a PlayStation control. That's what the map is. That's the point of it.
That's
like
hilarious.
It was built
I love it.
around the PlayStation controller, and I found it, and I'm like, this is the only one that looks remotely what I want it to look like, so I'm gonna take it and use it anyway. So
These ancient humans, they were ahead of their time.
just like ignore the fact that it's a PlayStation controller. But anyway,
It took me a second to realize, but I was like, okay.
back up top, in the car, Mr. Hoffman, you are, scrolling through YouTube, doing your thing, listening to music, fiddling with some electronic device, whatever, doing whatever it is you feel like doing at the moment, in the safety of the all-terrain vehicle. Nice and warm, got the heat blasting and stuff. You hear the explosion down below, and then 30 seconds after the explosion goes off, the vehicle just turns off on its own.
But kind of weird. I'll try and start it up again.
It does. It just turns back on. Anyway, back downstairs.
Well,
Hard cut. Yeah. So you walk up to the door to number 4, that would be. And you touch the door, and sure enough, it slides to the side the same as the first one did. And inside, number 4, is a large circular room with a 10-foot tall, 20-foot diameter glass cylinder that goes from floor to ceiling. And inside of the cylinder, you can make out what looks to be some kind of like water, but the interior of the glass is covered in bright, almost neon green algae that's kind of slowly shifting in some kind of current. There are no lights, and it's just this room with a 5-foot stretch of stone
Glass.
tile around the edge of the room, with the glass case big in the middle of the room.
I'll walk over and touch the glass.
You touch the glass. Nothing happens. It's
Can I shine?
It is
can I
kind of
shine the
warm
light in the
to
tank?
touch the glass. Okay, you can take your flashlight and turn it on, and as soon as you turn it on, all the algae around the flashlight, it stops lazily shifting in the current and hardens, stiffens up, and then points like iron shavings to a magnet, in the direction of the flashlight.
I'll turn the flashlight off and then on again.
If you turn it off, they relax again, and you turn it back on, they flick back to look at the flashlight.
I'll point it back down and I'll turn to the others and be like, man, if only we had a zoologist.
If only.
I mean,
Damn, if only.
anybody else got any ideas on this? I mean, they're obviously drawn to electricity.
Nate walks up and kind of taps the glass. Ding, 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 ding. Nothing happens. He's like, well, that's my knowledge.
I can confirm, it is algae. I don't know anything else about it.
No, this is glass. And he knocks on the...
Right again. I can see why you're the leader of this group.
He
Agreed.
finger guns you, winks.
Alright. Well, I guess we have nowhere else to go but forward.
Okay. So you walk around the glass case, and there is another door that leads out of this room.
Third verse, same as the first.
Yep. You touch the stone door, and it slides to the side miraculously. It leads to a long, well, not long, a short, dark stone hallway that you can see turns left at a 90-degree angle after about 15 feet.
Alright, well, on we go.
All right. You go around the corner, and you see there is no door on this room. Instead, there is it is a very large room, probably equivalent in size to the first room you guys found yourselves in. But right after the doorway is a 15-foot in diameter, circular hole in the stone floor, with this kind of brownish black, leathery sort of flap, 4 flaps that kind of make an X shape in the floor. And you can see that there is steam kind of lazily floating up out from the seams in the 4 leathery flaps. And across the room, there is, you can see another, probably like 12 feet in diameter circle, with a kind of strange like circular like crease in it with the flaps and stuff.
Huh. Okay. Alright, well, I guess I'll move around and take a picture of the big X, and then, stand in the center.
Okay, you can try to jump over the big X, but you can't walk around it.
Oh, okay. I'll just walk over the X, why not?
Okay, so you step down on the X leather flap thing, and as soon as you step on it, all of you nearby, so that being the sergeant, the Dr. Knight, and Dr. Fuhrer, you hear a very sudden like gasping sound, followed by the leathery flaps kind of shooting out outward, up into the air. And there's this big blast of boiling hot water, just sprays up. I need Dr. Fuhrer to make me an agility check at disadvantage for me.
Okay. This is where it gets scary. That's 2 6s.
2 6s. Let me look at Gucci. That matches. Do I want you to pass? Do I want you to fail? Evens or odds?
Odds.
Alrighty. You're lucky. Rolled a 9. So you step on this thing, and this pillar of steaming hot, boiling hot water blasts into the air, and when the flaps kind of open up, they kind of knock you off balance, just enough for you to fall backwards, just in time for the water to miss your nose by an inch. You can feel the uncomfortable burning heat from the water. And it slams into the ceiling 10 feet above you, and falls back down in rain, basically. Really hot rain. You avoid being boiled, basically. So yeah, the sergeant, you see that, and Knight's oh, he jumps backwards, and he's by God, man, are you all right?
Yeah, I should be alright. I'm gonna go over and shine a flashlight into the now hole.
The flaps do fall back over, they close.
I'll raise the flap a little bit and shine a light in.
Okay, you raise the flap a tiny bit and shine in, and probably a couple of inches beneath the floor level, there is a boiling hole of water.
Well, there is boiling water underneath.
And Knight's it's probably what made that this place so warm. Probably some kind of hot spring or something underneath there.
Most likely, but how did the warmth get through the stone?
It's well, you'd figure given millions of years, the heat will probably propagate a great distance eventually. It'll take a long time.
Probably. Well, alright. Well, I guess I'll try and jump over now.
Alright. You do. You kind of take a running jump and you leap over into the center of the room. And sure enough, there's the triangle button with the triangular flap hole in front of you. There is a kind of 4 flapped kind of square circle to your left, and then there's a big another 15-foot diameter hole in the stone. This is just a flat leather pad. There isn't any flaps in it. It's just a solid circle of leather, a half-inch sunken into the stonework.
Is there steam rising from this one?
None of the others have steam rising from them, though.
Okay, well, let's step on the triangle then.
All right, you step on the triangle, and as soon as your foot touches it, the flaps, like, it's almost like, what would this be like? You know, if you touch certain forms, like a turtle, you poke a turtle and it kind of retracts into its shell.
Yeah.
Well, it's kind of like this. Like, as soon as you touch the leather, it like super quickly retracts into the stonework and disappears, and your foot like schlops into this kind of like vaguely like very slightly tinged greenish like mucus or like gelatinous like slime that probably goes down like 6 inches.
I will retract my foot from said liquid.
Okay, so break the suction on your leg. It's very gross. Your boot's now covered in slime. You're welcome.
I think I'd rather boil my leg in the water.
Well, you can always wash off. You got that boiling water now.
Yeah, he's got a point.
Is there a rock I can throw on the X to get some water?
Sure.
All right, yeah, let's throw the rock with some force.
Okay, yeah, you throw the rock at the triangle, the X-shaped leather, and it this big blast of boiling water launches back into the air, and you kind of let it fall onto your boot, and you wash most of this slime off.
Before I leave, I am gonna make sure to kind of dry my leg out so I don't freeze my leg off.
Yeah. Well, your boot
That
probably
would
be
be
like
bad.
water resistant anyway, so you should be okay.
Cool. So that's the slime button. You said there was a square and a circle.
Yep.
Let's go over to the circle, I guess. Is there another
Okay.
rock?
Sure. There's another rock.
All right, let's pick it up and toss it onto that circle.
Okay, so you toss it at the circle, and it hits the circle, and the circle kind of like jiggles like downwards, like a 4 or 5 inches before like retracting under the ground. Then it pops back up.
Nothing weird. Nothing.
And it's a leather platform that bounces when you hit it. It's pretty weird anyway.
Huh. All right. Well, let's check the square then.
Okay, how do you check the square?
I'll take a glow stick for this one
Okay,
and toss it on the square.
you toss it on the square, and when it hits the leather retracts, and the glow stick falls into another pool of slime. And just kind of like
Sick. All right. Well, time to check the circle again. I'll go and place a foot. Like, just tap my foot on the circle.
okay, you tap your foot in the circle, and when you put pressure on it, it like slowly begins to retract, like descend downwards. But as soon as your foot leaves it, it comes back up.
All right. I'm gonna do something incredibly stupid. I'm gonna take the rope out and, kind of try to wedge one of the poles into the ground. And then I'm gonna stand on the circle and go down.
Okay.
But I'm gonna keep the rope there in case the circle gives out beneath me or I have no other way back up.
Okay. So yeah, so you're like securing yourself in case it trap or whatever.
Yes.
You can catch it and pull yourself back. Okay. I got you.
Yes.
All right. Easily enough done. So yeah, you stick a python into the ground and you wrap yourself in the rope and stuff. You tie it to the python, and you stand on the circle, and it begins to descend at a rate of only like a couple of feet per second. It's relatively slow.
Okay.
And we will cut back up top to Mr. Hoffman. You're back in the car and stuff. Um, it was kind of weird that it turned off by itself, but it turned back on, so you didn't really care. You're back to watching your movies, whatever, listening to music, fiddling with your mechanical stuff, fixing a clock or something. Um, and then which is kind of like impact against the roof of the truck, like a heavy impact, like poof, and the whole vehicle kind of like shifts a little bit. Very very surprising.
And I'll be like, what the fuck? And I'll get out of the car.
Okay, you get out of the car. I mean, these things are like 12 feet tall, so you can't see the roof of it, but you don't immediately see anything on top of the roof from where you're standing.
All right, I guess I'll like, walk around the car, see if I notice anything.
Okay, make me a perception check.
7.
Good old 7. All right. So you walk around the vehicle and stuff, and you don't see anything until out of the corner of your eye, you see the silhouette of a person, probably like 400 yards away. Like they're pretty far off. Just kind of, you can't make out any feature, just the black silhouette of a humanoid figure standing hundreds of yards away, off in the distance, just standing there, stark still.
I'm gonna, I guess, radio in to the boys. Be like, yo, did we tell anyone else from the base to come out here?
I'll
Knight's
radio
like,
back.
no, we
no.
didn't.
Cause I think I see someone out here.
I'll look up to the group and be like, what happened?
Our boy up top says there's another person up
We
there
never
with
told anybody to come out,
them. No,
to my knowledge at least.
no.
Odd,
Huh.
but alright.
I'll radio back. Be like, yeah, you like need someone up there, or
I go, I don't know. They're kind of just standing around.
They're just standing there, menacingly.
well, how far are they?
Oh, a couple 100 yards out.
How far?
Huh.
I'll holler that up to the others. Like, how far is it?
They're only 100, couple 100 yards.
I'll call out to Dr. Knight. Hey, do you think we could handle this? And then Sergeant can go back up.
Dr. Knight's like, I don't have a preference, I suppose. If you like heading back up there, Sergeant, then feel free.
We shouldn't be too much longer.
I guess you shouldn't. I'll go check on our boy. I'd rather not have, I don't know, some like illegal drug Eskimo come out and shank him.
I'm fine with this.
Alright, then I don't know, I guess I'll leave like a quarter of the other half of explosives I brought with them.
Okay. And you want to go back up top?
Yeah, so I'll split that half of the half with them. Yeah, and then go back up top.
Okay, you're gonna climb, or do you want Hoffman to give you the winch?
What's faster?
Climbing, if you could do it successfully.
Then climb I will.
All right, 1D, agility check +1, por favor. In the meantime, as you're waiting for your companion to take it back to you, Hoffman, you're kind of staring at this silhouetted figure off in the distance. Then you hear like a poof in the snow next to you. just like
Oh.
a
I'll
like
take
like
a
an
look
impact.
around.
You look
By
around
the
and you see that
way-
probably like 4 feet away from you, there is just a foot and a half long icicle that has fallen like sideways into the snow, like embedded itself in the snow as if it had fallen a distance, fallen from the sky.
I'll look
Oh,
at the
no.
ice skull. I'll look up. I'll look around, and I'll be like, "What the fuck?"
Oh no.
You don't know where it came from, but the silhouette's gone.
And I'll guess I'll hop back in the car, go on the radio, be like, "So, are we expecting like a hailstorm? Because something like fell out of the sky next to me. Also, the dude's gone."
Kyle, and now this is when you make it up after I assume you passed, right?
Modded 10.
Yeah, I figured you would. So yeah, so you now is when so you clamber up the side of the cliff, and as you kind of roll onto the actual like ground, like surface level, you see Hoffman coming back into the cab of the vehicle.
Okay, I'll look around and be like, Hoffman? Where's the person?
I'll get back out of the car, and I'll just shrug. I'll be like, "I don't know. I turned away for like 5 seconds, and they just disappeared."
Huh.
This is also when Sergeant Winches, you hear a similar kind of in the snow next to you.
I look.
There is a dagger, the same kind of dagger that's suspended in the ice, with the kind of like bone-looking handle with the shiny black stone blade, just in the snow next to you.
How deep was that in the ice?
The dagger down in the ravine was like a foot in the ice.
And it's all the way up. I'll radio back and be like, you boys hurry up that uh that search. There's the daggers next to me.
I'll call up to Dr. Knight and be like, "What?"
And they call down to you like, the sergeant says that apparently the dagger we saw on the ice is now next to her in the snow.
That's impossible. When I went back to take the picture, it was there.
He's like, all right, and yeah, the knight's like, Dr. Furrow says that you're crazy.
I turned to Hoff and I'm like, am I the only one seeing this shit?
I mean, I'll like lead Sergeant over to like the icicle. I'll be like,
there
"I
is
don't know
no
where
icicle.
this came from." Oh damn!
And there is no
I see,
dagger
I see.
either, by the way. That's gone too.
It's just not there anymore.
Yep,
We
the
both
indent in the
check out
snow
the-
is still there, but there is no more icicle or dagger.
So I guess I walk over to the icicle, and I'm like, "Well, and I stop mid sentence and go, huh? There used to be something there." And then it's kind of weird, and I walk back over to the dagger and go, "Huh? That's kind of weird. Used to be
There
something
used
there."
to be something there.
I'll radio back. I'm like, I'll say he's half right because the indent's still here, but there's no dagger.
Also, as you guys are looking around, there is a single set of footprints that you see that leads from off in the distance, like all the way up to where you guys just were, and then stops, like just dead stops, but there's nobody around to make the footprints. It's just there.
Does it stop like in front of us or something?
Yeah, like probably like 10 feet away from you guys.
I
And then
like.
I'll go. I don't recall seeing those before.
I'll rub one eye at a time.
Okay, you rub your eyes. There's now a second set of footprints next to the first one in the same direction, coming towards you from off in the distance.
All right, timeout. Can I make the connection that there's about to be 4 sets of footprints right about now? 'Cause we found 4 bodies.
No more footprints actually appear in the snow, just the two.
Okay, but can I make the connection of that at least?
I mean, you can. I guess that could be an assumption you could jump to, yeah.
Okay, I'll like I won't radio it in, but I'll talk to Hoffman and be like, call me batshit crazy, but there were what 2 bodies, 4 we found, and then a dagger appears in the footprints.
I'll
Ah,
go. I mean, I guess yeah. What are you implying?
As
Those dudes got up from the ice and walked over here? What?
I have a question.
Sure.
Hearing this, can I, as I'm slowly descending, can I check through the pictures?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna like just look through my pictures.
Okay, yeah, the
Anything-
dagger and the bodies
anything
are all
different?
there. Nope.
Also, how's my descent going?
Well, you're probably like 10 feet down. So now at this point, you can see that this second level, like you're being brought down to a lower level, opens up into a very large, probably like 30-foot tall cavern with a single structure in the center, and so kind of separate, like deeper ravine across the way. I can provide that map as well.
Can I see what it is? Or what the obelisk is?
Yes. Once I find the photo, I will provide a description.
Alright.
But yeah, so you look at the photos and stuff, and there's the daggers in there, and the 4 people are in there.
Alright, well, I'll call that up to Knight and be like, hey, you can relay to them that everything's normal in the pictures.
Okay, he's like, all right, and yeah, you guys get radio. It's like, Dr. Furr says that, the dagger and such are on the photos he's taken.
okay. I'll like radio back, be like, okay, there's footprints now.
There's what?
Nice, like, the sergeant says that there's now 2 sets of footprints in the snow that aren't theirs, I guess.
Uh-huh. Hmm. I'll call up to Dr. Knight and be like, what time are we looking at?
Like, it's like 2 in the afternoon.
Huh. Alright, well, I've got a second area down here. It looks like it expands. We might want to reconsider bringing more long-term gear.
He's like, all right, can do. And he radios back up to the
alright.
group. He's like, Sergeant, the archaeologist fellow was found a second level of the place. Says that it opens up quite a bit down there.
Huh?
After relaying this information, I'll start climbing my way back up.
Okay. I can also say that the obelisk in the center of the room is, what you can tell appears to be solid obsidian.
Okay. I will also convey that information, that there is a solid obsidian obelisk.
Okay, yes, the knight reports back to the sergeant and to Hoffman. He's like, yeah, it's apparently, Archeo fellow says that there's a bunch of obsidian pillars and like an obelisk or something down there. Obsidian, apparently.
Before I do start climbing, however, I will snap one panoramic picture.
Okay.
So what? He wants us to make another trip.
Well, we know what we're doing now, so making another trip with more long-term survival gear would be smart. Maybe some monitoring gear as well. Cameras and trails and whatnot. set some things up to see the pathways to see if anybody comes in.
Uh-huh. Got it.
If you're seeing footprints and, well, if you're right, then someone should come down here and, well, explore the place while we're gone, so setting up some trail cameras and what have you might be advantageous.
I suppose so, yes. And then I'll, like, stop talking and it calms down. I turn to Hoffman. I'll be like, I don't like this.
Yeah, neither do I, to be honest. What are you gonna do? I guess.
Just get back in the car and wait for them.
Okay. You turn around and the car's gone.
Huh?
Yeah, she's gone. Its indents are in the snow seal where it was parked, but there are no trails leading away from it. It's just gone.
I walk up to where I think the car is and put a hand to see if I can even, I don't know, touch it?
Nope, it's just open air.
I turn to my radio and Hoffman and be like, so there's no our vehicles.
Wait, what? Now I'm gonna need you to relay that again.
All right, so
What?
imagine you're up here, right? All right, and then you look away, you smoke your cigarette, you see some footprints, and you turn around, the vehicle's gone, just like that.
Oh, so you were serious.
I wish I was joking. Yes.
Oh, I wish you were too. You said the car is gone.
Completely. Like there's a trail, but it's not as if someone jacked it and drove off. It just
It just isn't
disappeared.
there.
It's gone. Yes. It's as if it vanished without a trace. The indents are
Hoffman,
still
you
here,
see,
though.
now you see something different. Hoffman, you see when the sergeant freaks out and goes to walk over to where the car is, she walks in the opposite direction. And is now talking and
what?
saying that there is no car
The
there. You can still see the
car?
vehicle. She's just walked like 50 feet away and is now complaining there is no car, looking the opposite direction of the car.
I'll walk over to the car and I'll like open the door and I'll look inside.
Yeah, it's just as you left it. You know, your phone is still there. It's still playing the music. You know.
All right. Oh, I guess I'll grab my phone, shut it off, and I'll call over to the security officer and be like, "Yo,
I'll be like, huh?
Okay, so you turn around, and yeah, you see the truck, and you see Hoffman standing there. But more notably than that, behind the truck, probably on the horizon, you see the kind of stepped silhouette of a ziggurat pyramid off on the horizon. This black silhouette of a pyramid.
At this moment, Knight and I would probably be proceeding back towards the way we came.
Okay, yeah, so you guys are like in the
Trying to
chasm
get
trying
back.
to climb. So yeah, so are you guys
Yeah.
going to take the... Are you going to winch up, or are
I'm
you
going
going
to
to
climb.
climb?
I'm
Okay.
gonna climb.
Agility check
Okay.
+1, please.
I think
That is a 10. Let's
Ah,
go.
So did the doctor, so you both sprint up the rope.
I'll turn around and be like, wait, that's. And then noticing the ziggurat, I'll be like, can you. Is. Do you
So-
see that?
I'll turn to the others and be like, what do you got? What is happening right now? Do I see the truck?
Yes, you see the truck.
What are you talking about right now, officer? The
I
truck
think-
is right here.
As he would probably notice second that I'm nowhere near the truck, I'll be like, yeah, the truck's there, but what about that ziggurat that's there, though?
I'll look, and do I see anything?
No, you do not see anything.
What are you on about, Doctor?
So,
You're not even a
Doctor
doctor.
Furr, you look back and you see that the sergeant has that dagger stabbed in her chest.
Sergeant, are you
But she
feeling
seems to be
alright?
not reacting at all.
Are you feeling alright?
Yeah, well, I mean, my vision's kind of odd. Probably because I didn't get any sleep, but
I'll go over
why?
to the sergeant and put my hand on her shoulder and be like, "Okay, now I'm going to ask you to hold very, very still. Okay?
Why?
Trust me." And I'm going to yank the dagger out.
Okay. All of you see the doctor grope the sergeant's boob.
I
I
Well, no,
immediately,
I would be pulling.
That's
Would I
that's
not?
what you see, but it's not what's actually happening.
I, I just socked the doctor.
Okay. Just deal damage because he
Why?
can't dodge. So you just
You groped my breast after saying
I
so.
did
so
not.
deal your damage.
What
1d4
is it?
times
Is
10.
it?
Do I still see the knife inside of the sergeant?
Let's loot the damages first.
You got a 30, bro.
A 30 damage.
I'm down to
All right.
120.
Yep. Okay. So yeah, so she socks you right across the jaw. You walk up, you grab the knife, and as you start to pull the knife, she just right hooks you across the jaw and just lays you out, and you collapse in the snow, and you're like, oh, you're like your nose is bleeding, your lip is busted, you're like, oh god, and you kind of wake up, you kind of like stand up, and the dagger is gone, and she looks totally fine.
I look at you like, what? I know I'm seeing things, but
Well, now
what
I
the
appear to be
fuck?
seeing things too. There was a dagger in your stomach, and I tried to go and grab it.
I I look at him. I'll be like, I'll slightly give you the benefit of the doubt, but then I point
My
to my stomach.
apologies.
I point to my stomach and then my boob. I'm like, these are two different areas. All right.
Yes, well, we all appear to be seeing things now.
I. What the fuck?
And at this point, I'm just gonna walk over to the other guy. I'm gonna be like, "So, how are you after all of this?"
He's
The
gone.
knight's like, he's just kind of like watching it, like the scene unfold, watching Andre get punched, and is kind of like, he's like squinting his eyes at the two of them, and is like, and it turns to you, Hoffman, and he's like, do we have drugs on the station or something? is there weed hydroponics that I haven't been introduced to yet
Doctor,
or
there's a
something?
Hey,
perfectly
if they are
reasonable
dealing drugs
explanation
on the
for this,
station, they haven't
and it
been
is
telling me
not
about it.
drugs.
I go, wait, everyone, hold on. And I I look to Hoffman like we saw together footprints and indents. And I look over to see if those footprints and indents are still there.
Nope.
And then I go, I'm like, huh.
All right.
Well, actually, the indents of the icicle and the knife are still there, but the footprints aren't.
Okay, footprints aren't. But then I go,
Where are the indents?
I'll point to those because those are closer to the
I'll
actual
I'll
vehicle.
take pictures of both of them. And if
Okay.
possible, I will take a cast of the knife imprint.
I mean, it isn't super good, but you can. Okay.
All right. That's all I needed to do was take a cast. Now I'm gonna go to the sergeant and be like, all right, where do you see this pyramid?
Behind the vehicle.
There is no more pyramid.
There is no more pyramid though.
Ah,
There is
great.
ziggurat, not pyramid.
Whatever. Well, in that case, let's go back to the base. We'll discuss this extremely odd event and come back tomorrow with more gear, better prepared, and we'll go in ready for anything. Okay?
Cool.
Does
So
everybody
you're all gonna
agree?
load up then?
Yeah. As you all turn, the vehicle's gone.
You all turn and the vehicle's upside down. Currently breakdancing? No, I'm kidding.
It's default dancing in front of you.
Yeah, it's default dancing.
Roll initiative.
Good, that'd be cursed. No, or if it's really like normal D&D, you know, you like, get in the truck and I'd be like, all right, I turn the truck on. I'm like, all right, roll animal handling. No, yeah.
Alright.
So you all want to drive back to
I
the
think-
base then?
I think it would be smart before we leave to take a picture of the hole and put a flag there.
Okay.
Oh, actually, one last thing before we leave. I asked someone to boost me up on top of the truck.
Oh yeah, I helped him with that.
Okay. So you boost Hoffman onto the top of the truck. Let's see. What will be up there? I don't even know what will be up there.
A person.
A footprint.
Yes. Okay. So well, the sergeant boosts Hoffman up for reasons that the rest of you don't know. But you know, all right. So you boost up and you get a look at the roof. You know, you climb on top of the back and you get on the roof, and you see that there is a noticeable pair of footprints in the light snow covering
I
on
called
top
it.
of the
I called it.
on top of the roof of the truck or like the all-terrain vehicle.
I called it.
And I'm gonna call down to the boys. I'm gonna be like, you might want to see this.
I'll
Take a
pass up the
picture of the-
camera, like the neck strap for the camera. I'll like pass that up so we can take a picture of it.
Sure. I help him do that. I'm like, don't look away for a second.
Yeah, don't even blink. Just take the picture.
You do so. The footprints don't disappear.
All right, I'm gonna have him pass down the camera first.
Yeah, sure. I'll pass down the camera. I'll be like, this explains something, I guess. Maybe.
So what's that?
While you guys were down, pitzing around in those caves or whatever, I heard like a thud on the roof of the truck, and I got out, and I didn't see anything up there. So I was just confused.
Well, someone does appear to be messing with us.
Do
Something.
you guys look at the
even.
picture on the camera, or do you just take Hoffman's
I'll look
word
at the
for
picture.
it that there's
I'll look
something
at
up
the
there?
picture.
Okay, so yeah, so you take the photo, you hand it down, look at the photo. There aren't just footprints on the photo he takes. There is the boots and lower legs of a person standing in those footprints, wearing some kind of like wrapped, like tribal fur boot shoe.
My heart immediately sinks. Hoffman.
Yeah?
There's someone up there with you.
What are you talking about?
There is someone up there with you. Get off very slow, and I'll take a picture of on top of the car.
Okay, you do so, and I guess it's digital camera, so you can see immediately what the picture is. And as you take the photo and it loads what it showed, the camera goes dead.
Hoffman slowly climb down from the roof and get in the vehicle.
Okay.
Trust me, I'll show you when we get back.
All right.
When we are leaving, keep an eye on the rear view the entire time.
Odd question.
Yeah.
Are we like not gonna take a picture with the phone? or we just gonna leave that out? For like
I'll call up to
our-
Hoffman and be like, get down and then take a picture with your camera.
Okay.
Okay, I assume you do so then.
Yeah.
All right, so you get off, and you take out your phone to find that it's been covered in a block of ice.
I blink.
It's still a block of ice, yeah.
I kind of like, inspect it. Like I turn it this way and that. I blink a few
Can
more
we see
times.
the ice?
Yes, you can all see the ice. There is actual ice.
Okay, well, let's just be on our merry way then. I think whatever I took a picture of will be revealed when we get back.
or not.
So let's just head back to base then. I'll climb in.
Okay. You all climb in, and you see that off to the side, Dr. Knight has built a little snowman, but the snowman is kind of like posing like the figure in the mural did with the moon, like holding the moon up and stuff. But it's like a fat, snowman instead of like the actual mural. And Dr. Knight kind of like pats the snowman on the top of the head, and he's like, you all done being crazy, or can we leave now?
Let's leave. Yeah.
Lovely. And then he gets in the all-terrain vehicle, and I assume you all drive away, yes?
Mhm.
All right, and you do so. The vehicle is still working. It never, turned off or anything. It does still function. And you all make your way back the 4-hour drive. Now, about 3 hours into the drive, you're all chugging along, going about your business, doing whatever. When there is, you will kind of crest a snowdrift, and Sergeant, you're the only one who sees this because you're on the side of the vehicle, out the window, freaking out, thinking, "Am I going crazy? Was that temple drugged or something like that? Did I inhale some fumes or something in there that I didn't know about?" And you see, out the window of the all-terrain vehicle, there's kind of like probably a dozen yards, like parallel to the all-terrain vehicle, off to the side, there is what appears to be a pile of bodies, in like a vague circle, or like at what appears to be some kind of makeshift camp.
I, I go to whoever's not driving, and mainly not tonight because he seems to be clinically sane.
Clinically sane, yes.
I go, you see that camp of bodies?
I'll take a
say,
look.
yes, yes. You take a look. Yes, actually, there is a group of bodies. You can't tell how many from here. Around what appears to be like an abandoned or ruined campsite with some tents that have been covered and crushed by snow.
I'll turn to the others and be like, "All right, well, we are not prepared for this. Do not stop. Keep going."
Well, you say that, Knight, who is driving, turns to you and is like, "What? What do you mean? Are you going crazy some more, or
Don't worry about
Yeah.
it. Just keep driving. Just keep driving.
Oh, okay, unlucky." He's like, "All right, whatever, wacko." And he just keeps driving, and you make it all back to the base. You all pull into the garage and stuff. Dr. Knight's like, "Well, Dr. Furo, you said you wanted to bring longer-term supplies back tomorrow. Do you have any preferences for what that might entail?"
some food, some water, possibly some weapons, if we are dealing with something that may be able to harm us. More light sources, and possibly even more explosives, but that's yet to be seen. We still have no idea what is going on. So I'd rather err on the side of safety. So it is better to be over-prepared than under-prepared. So if there is anything we can bring, I suggest we bring it. Again, wireless trail cameras that we can check up on, monitoring equipment, motion sensors if we have them. Might as well bring what we can.
Knight's like, all right, I will make a checklist and have it loaded on the vehicle tomorrow.
All right. After Knight walks off, I'll go to the others and I'll be like, all right, I don't trust Knight's mental state right now. And this is like in a hushed tone. So I'm gonna tell them, all right, you lot follow me. We're going to check the camera.
Okay.
On our way there, I'm going to whisper to the others, like, hey, did you see what Knight was making on that snowman?
Yeah.
A fat cock.
You fucking know,
Um,
dude.
Did anybody else see a resemblance to anything we saw in that cave, or is that just me?
I mean, yeah, I saw resemblance. I just, I mean, personally, I was seeing some weird shit, so
But he made a snowman of the mural.
yeah.
Is that not odd to anyone else?
I mean, you saw my stomach get stabbed, and I saw a ziggurat. So you ask me if I find that really strange.
I will apologize for that, by the way.
Good. I mean,
But
I was gonna make a comment about it, that he's replicating it. Out of character, I thought it was just the DM being bored, but whatever. Um, in character though, but yeah, totally. That is kind of strange.
all right, well, either way, let's check the camera, and then tomorrow we can gather everything we need and head back out.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess it's time to shine and check that camera.
All right, so you head over to, the nearest outlet, and you plug in your camera, and after a few minutes of talking and stuff, it hits a charge enough where you can turn it on. You turn it on, and the photo you took of the roof is gone. It's been deleted. The rest of them are, though.
Well, no, this is odd. The picture's gone. I will share that information with the rest, that the picture is in fact gone.
Bizarre.
Bizarre indeed. I'll check the other pictures as well.
Yeah, they're all there, just as you remember them being.
Anything new I can notice from the pictures that I took on the ground and of where the ziggurat was?
No, you don't see anything like that.
Alright, well, I guess all we can do is prepare for tomorrow and then hope for the best. Alright, well.
Alright. Do you all...
I'll be off to do my own studies.
Okay. So, you all sleep then?
In character, once I go back to my room, I go back and lock the door. And I will make another correspondence, this time saying there is something substantial here. I will send the pictures, and I will say that the suspicions are correct. There is something in Antarctica.
And the email response you get back will be, incredibly intriguing. Continue your investigations. We will consult experts on our end.
My last email to them will be, please have a team on standby. We may be dealing with something bigger than we can handle.
Okay. You get no response back.
Well, I can only hope that made contact. Right, delete the correspondence, and then head off to bed.
Alrighty. Anybody else want to do anything before you go to bed?
I will, however, ice my jaw.
Yeah. Or yeah, you take some aspirin and stuff to help with your bruised jaw and cut lip. Okay. So there's nothing else.
I don't think I really have anything, I guess check what weapons I feel like bringing with me, and that's about it. And then head off to sleep.
Okay.
At this point, would I be able to go to the sergeant and requisition a pistol?
I will leave that up to the sergeant.
I do have pistol training.
I'll think about it in the morning.
Wow.
Fair enough.
Like real life.
Fair enough.
What'd you say, Dakota?
It's like real life. You ask somebody for a gun, and they're like, I'll think about it.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Mr. Hoffman, anything you wanted to take care of?
I don't know. I guess I'll just go around, see if the medical bot is on the fritz again. Do checkups.
The medical robot is on the fritz again. Yeah. But takes like an hour, half an hour to fix it. It's not super,
All right.
Also, the geology department would have gotten back to you, Dr. Furr. The stone you gave them corresponds to being around about 300, 400,000 years old.
Oh. Were they able to discern what kind of stone?
Yes, but I, the DM, do not know stone. But it is an identifiable rock. Yes, it's very old, ancient stone type, native to South America.
To South America?
Well, that's where they found it before. Yes, or like similar rock before.
Interesting. How interesting. I was supposed to be in South America right now. Curious.
Curious,
Alright,
aren't
well,
curious, sir.
I will be off to bed then.
All right.
With
Yeah.
this knowledge.
You all.
I will be documenting the things that we found today.
Okay. Easily done. Yeah, you all head to bed. You don't have any weird dreams. You don't have any nightmares. You all get a pretty good night's sleep. You all wake up, do your normal routine, and around 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you all head back to the garage, where Dr. Knight is finishing up preparations on the vehicle, putting a bunch of like big hacksaws, chisels, pickaxes, ice picks, pythons, rope, cameras, all that stuff, big lighting fixtures, generator.
I will check my email though.
Okay, still no response.
All right, very well. Okay. All right, well, yeah. I'll go over to the sergeant and I'll ask if she got around to approving or denying my request for a firearm.
I'll run a quick mental background with him. Minus what we just saw. See if he
Okay.
got good
But
in the
I
head and
feel like what you
whatnot.
just saw is an important thing to take into consideration when you give a man a gun. I'm just saying.
I don't
Alright.
know. I saw some crazy stuff. And you know what? Having three people with a gun is pretty nice. We did split up. Still gonna do the normal checks though. Run through
Alright,
the
that's fine.
quick questionnaire. I don't feel like actually doing it in person because
Yeah, but I mean,
it's a hard
you find that
campaign.
he is mentally sane. He is, besides what
Okay.
happened yesterday, he is stable.
Alright, and I'll I die and not complete his request. Sorry.
What a shame.
I know, right? Yeah, I'll hand him a pistol to
Okay.
use.
Yes, you go over to the armory and you hand the doctor a Glock 33, the same gun type that you have, the same one that the detective used last time. Fun fact.
Interesting.
Because it's just a standard Glock.
Feels oddly familiar.
Yeah.
Almost like if owned by an old friend.
So you all meet up with Dr. Knight, and he says, he's like, well, good morning, everyone. I hope you all slept better than you did the day before, but don't worry. Today I have a plan. You see, my idea is we're going to go to the chasm, and we're going to remove those chunks of those bodies and the dagger from the ice wall, and bring them back here, where our geologists, our biologists, they can do the work and run tests on the equipment. But I wouldn't want to bring anyone else there because it's dangerous, and we know our way around, and we don't want to freak anybody else out, really. So I'm bringing these saws and picks and stuff like that, so when we get there, we can cut, a few inches around each item, because we don't want to cut them out all the way and have them break or something because of the exposure to air after all this time, So we're going to cut big chunks of ice, put them in the cooler I've put on the back of the all-terrain vehicle, and then bring it back here. Good plan? Great plan.
I'll add in my 2 cents. It would probably be a smarter idea to do it on our way out now, so that we don't leave them there unprotected.
Well, yeah, that's the idea, yes.
All right. I will show the picture of the cavern that I took to the others in the group.
Okay. Yeah, you all get the general layout of the second level in game chat.
Of the second floor or something?
Yeah.
Okay. What the fuck? Yeah, I have nothing to add. If anything, alright, do I or do I not feel the need to bring more than just a pistol with me, Dakota? Yes.
I don't know, do you?
I don't know, do I? That's what I'm trying to figure out, does my character go, crazy amount of people bring more firearms? Yes, no. I'm trying to figure out.
Well, I mean, if you want to be safe, it would be a semi-good idea, at least, to have another one.
Have another what?
Another firearm, just even if we were to leave it with the truck.
It's true.
Because even if one person can't see the truck and another person can, they can go to the truck and get it for you.
That's so true.
I am also going to be doing dishes at the moment, so I will be silent, but I will be able to roll. I will check in when necessary.
Sure, I'll bring an AR with me. I don't know what we got, but whatever we got, that I got.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I'll say you got like, and plenty. I mean, the armory module of the station is very well equipped. You've got basically any kind of gun you could imagine in some capacity is here. So I'll say you can easily enough find like an M4 or something. How many spare
Good.
mags ammunition are you gonna bring for said rifle?
Um, how many do I have for my pistol?
You have
Just standard.
two spare mags.
Would I have the same count?
Yes.
I would
Okay,
equip
nice.
with, I'll probably like have an extra pistol and then 3 mags, I guess.
Oh.
Can I even carry that on my person? Is that something I can do?
What like what? What's the question?
The the magazine itself plus 3 others.
3 others.
Is that too much?
I mean, if you brought like a
Are you wearing
ballistic
a plate
vest, like a
carrier?
backpack or something, then yeah, you have a ballistic vest. So yes, you can fit that much. Yeah.
Sure. Why?
I am going to double check that I have a spare battery for the camera. I'm going to make sure that we have the trail cameras. I'm going to make sure I have my full archaeological kit. And I'm going to make sure that there is a med kit on the truck.
2.
Okay. Easily done.
All right.
Sick. Oh yeah. I guess everyone still has those explosives, so that's still there if you want to add that too. Why not? Yeah, and extra batteries or just extra flashlights in general.
Yes. We should take flares, extra glow sticks. I'm trying to think of what else can be used for light.
I know a lighter itself.
A
Why not?
lighter would be smart, yeah.
Why not? Just a lighter for no reason.
Yeah.
Sure, sure. Why not? You bring anything, Hoffman? Xavier.
He's gonna be in text chat.
Oh,
So I'm just adding the. It's an M6A1, not an M4A1. Right, got to be legally distinct here. So there's that. But I have added it to your character sheet along with the 3 spare mags of ammo. So you got that. So yes, you guys get your stuff and you make your way to the chasm. And after about an hour of driving, once again, you guys see that same campsite with the bunch of bodies dressed in black-looking clothes and the kind of snow-covered, crushed tents.
you said we do pass them or we don't?
You do pass them; they are still there.
Okay.
I will be the one to ask, do we dare investigate?
It's a good question. Did they change from yesterday or no?
Nope, they look about the same.
Okay. then that's up to everyone else.
I'll say it's worth maybe a closer look, but not too much of our time.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Like, just a look in passing.
So, like, you're not gonna stop the car, or you're just gonna roll past?
Just roll past at a slower speed.
Okay, you guys can do that. So you guys roll past, kind of slow the vehicle down, roll past, and you guys see what looks to be like a dozen or so human bodies clad in black military-style gear around an abandoned snow-covered like campfire in a snow-covered camp.
Now this kind of warrants my attention.
Yeah, I was gonna say, my attention is now grasped. I thought this was just gonna be a bunch of maniacs out here in the snow. Are we all for a bit of a closer on-foot look?
I mean, I don't mind.
Dr. Knight doesn't care.
Alright, well, let's see what this is all about.
Okay, so you guys park the all-terrain vehicle nearby. You guys get out. You guys walk up close. Yeah, this is a campsite. There are, about a dozen bodies, all kind of sprawled generally, either like kind of half out of their tents or around the campfire, partially covered in snow. The tents are covered in snow. They don't have any firearms on them. They don't have any rifles you can see anyway. And they're all wearing, modern military gear, balaclavas, gloves, heavy coats, white, like parka, like cloaks over their black combat gear. And Sergeant, because you're a soldier, you know where to look. These guys have the Russian Federation flags on their shoulder in black and white.
Ooh, that's not good.
I'll I guess ask the sergeant anything of interest.
I'll turn to Knights, maybe because like he probably would be the only other one that would understand. Maybe like from my knowledge, it'd be like they're Russian.
And Knight's eyes kind of widen. He's like, "Oh, are they now?" And he walks over and he kind of looks at one of their shoulders. He's the flag. He's like, "Ah, that is worrying." And he kind of looks them over, and he's like, "I don't see any blood anywhere. Uh, hmm. Wonder what
Yeah,
killed
neither
these
do
men."
I think for a second, I go. I take like, do any of them look any more like from the way their body died, as if something actually did happen or no?
Yeah, like they all. A couple of them look like they were sitting down or kneeling or like Slav squatting when they died, and they just kind of like fell over to the side. But like four of them, facing north, do look like they were standing and then collapsed.
Alright, I take one of them, and I just start to undress him, and see like if anything in the inside is different from the out.
Okay, make me a perception check.
Alright, ooh, excuse me. Excuse me. That's an 8.
So you look him over. and you kind of like imagine that like most of them are either wearing goggles or visors or glasses or are face down. You kind of roll them over, start taking their clothes off, start checking around, and they are all blue because they've been out in the snow for an unknown amount of time in the Arctic. Um, so you kind of, start looking around, and then you kind of try to like open one of them, like their mouths, and you can't. So then you kind of like try to peel the lips away, and you can't. So you pull harder, and you end up ripping the lining of the guy's mouth off of his teeth. And you see that his teeth are actually coated in ice, and that his lips stuck to his teeth. And you're like, that's weird. And then you kind of look at his eyes, and his eyes are the same thing. They are coated in ice.
I think back to Hoffman's phone, like it suddenly just has ice from nowhere, and I think to myself, I don't say it because it sounds crazy and may or may not just be like too not in character. I don't know, but I just think like ooh, something doesn't want to be seen, so therefore some trigger happens where it's just coated in ice. You know, that makes sense. But yeah, I'm not gonna. Is that?
I mean, that's the only thing. You do find some of that stuff. Um, on in one of the tents, one of the crushed tents, you find that one of the men had shot himself in the head with a like Makarov, basically, a Russian pistol. And on the body of what looks to have been like their commander, their like sergeant or whatever, the squad leader, you find a parchment written in Russian with a map printed on it, a map of this section of this region of the Antarctic, with the research station Unified Hope marked on the map. The site you guys are headed towards also marked on the map, in addition to all of the nearest research stations. You don't speak Russian, but you do recognize like map symbology, and all of those sites are marked with like destroy, it's like search and destroy on them.
Ah, I go. Hey, Knights. You might
He's like,
want to see
yes.
this.
And you're like, oh, of course. And he walks over, takes a look at it. He's like, oh, well, that's
Yeah.
not good.
No. And I'll share like with the rest of the group, mainly because like to me, I know or like it's us. What's the word? It's just an archaeologist and an engineer. Like I don't know anything more about them.
Almost the entire time I'm staying with the crawler to make sure that everybody knows where to find it and I don't lose it.
Okay.
And I'm just keeping a general eye out on everything.
I'm gonna be like, well, and I'll show the map. Be like, this is obviously a Russian search and destroy team, and this is their map. And I point out their locations and be like, our research station was one of them. Oddly enough, the place we're heading to was even one of them. Strange.
We may want to get a mosey on, and then we may want to evacuate the facility as soon as possible.
Yes, except we have nowhere to go.
Well, we have a 6-month holdout period, if I'm to be correct.
Well,
which
that's like, well,
means-
there's the icebreaker ship. Should be coming in about a week, I believe. Like, well, in not a week anymore, but 4 days, I think.
Well, then, once we're done with this, radio into the icebreaker and tell them to prepare for guests. If the Russians are out here to, well, kill us all, then they're going to have to wait to get more men out here. So that will be our window.
Very true. Except, what pains me the most is that they marked this site that wasn't uncovered until now.
A fair point, but assuming it's safe to say that those tremors were them blowing out the ice, or drilling the ice, or something, then it's safe to assume that they found out it was there after they got here looking for us, and whatever was there got them killed, so...
I mean, what's the word I'm looking for? I'll search around their camp a bit more to, like, see if that could even be made a connection, but as far as I understand, that was pre-marked.
Yeah, so Xavier asked, how is the dig site marked on the video site? Is also marked with a destroy marker, same as everything else.
Curious.
Oh yeah, I also share with the team. Oh yeah, and you said their commander, just one of the soldiers killed himself.
A random soldier. Oh, it represents the site itself. Just like a dot on the map with, so the search and destroy, like, universal marker legend is a circle with an X through it.
How many X's do they have too?
How many, like, areas to destroy? They had your site, like, well, they had the chasm, Station Unified Hope, where you guys are from, and then a couple of the other ones that are, like, hundreds of miles away from you.
I will turn to the doctor and be like, is there any reason the Russians would want to search and or destroy Unified Hope? Don't we have Russian scientists on base?
That knight's like, well, you'd be correct. We have Russian citizens with us, but I'm afraid the answer to that question is above your pay grade, my friend.
Well, it's curious all the same, and you may want to ask the people above me that question. Even if it does cause an uproar. But, well, no rest for the scientific community, so we might as well take this information and get on our way.
Odd question, I forget. Or actually, no, I don't forget. I'm pretty sure I know the question for that. Or the answer to that question.
Well, do you know, let me, I can read, and reread rather.
I mean, I know you said to protect it from Russians and whatnot.
Yeah, you just know to protect it because there could be an attack on the base. You don't know why.
Okay. Alright.
So, yeah.
I'll probably then, after like going after all of that, say in a better way my theory about whatever's going on doesn't want to be seen in a sense because of the iced over mouth and eyes of that one Russian soldier.
Well, if you looked at all of them, like the 4 guys that were stood up when they died all have that same symptom, that same frozen stuff. The rest of them appear to have frozen to death, but like instantaneously. Like it's very strange. They're like, I don't know how to properly explain like what the symptoms would be. But it's been several days, you would imagine, since they've passed. But Yeah, the other ones look like they were like flash frozen, like their whole body suffered frostbite at once almost.
Spontaneous freezing,
Yeah,
almost.
yeah, like their whole body suffered frostbite and they just killed over.
Hmm. Come again?
I don't know what to say to
Yeah, agreed. I mean, the only thing I can think of is to just keep moving. We have no explanations for what happened, so.
Yeah.
Barely audible on your end.
Hold on.
So as we're waiting, I'll start loading myself. I'll snap a picture of this,
Okay.
and I will make sure to check the picture.
Yeah, it's all fine.
All right.
You hear me? Yeah.
Much better.
Yeah. I just plug in my PC. Anyways, what I was gonna ask is that you said it was just tents, yeah? And there was no. It's not an advanced supply thing. It was just like they set up temporary and
No,
whatnot
it's just
enough
they set
to
up
live.
like thermal insulated tents and like a campfire, and then they perished.
Okay. Okay. All
All
right.
right.
I'll just head back.
Okay, I'm gonna continue on to the chasm then.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we can end today's episode off there.
All right. What a wonderful place to leave off. A mystery on the ice. How did the Russians die? We may never know. Or we may know. Who knows? I don't. Do you? Not at all. Thank you for joining us on Quest for the Core, and we will see you in the next episode.